And we are live, people. Good morning, everyone. Wow, March the 10th already. In like a lion, out like a lamb. Well, it's 5:12 a.m., people. Wake up. Y'all know the early bird catches the worm. Come on in, take a seat. No need to push and shove, people. There's plenty of room for everybody to sit down. If you can't find a seat, just cop a squat on the floor. There's plenty of room. Have no idea what I'm going to be doing today, but I guarantee you I will be doing something. You know why? Because today is the day. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I'm just looking for stuff. Two minutes in, one on the floor, roll on over, and out the door. Boom, baba, boom, baba, boom, boom, boom. Okay. Well, today's theme is if you can't beat them, join them. You know, I see this happening quite often in the YouTube streets. It's a nice game if you got time to play it. I'm sure everybody likes to play games. That's why we're all here. Oh, Lord. And here I thought I had something going on, but evidently I didn't. Guess what? I lost my, and it's probably not plugged up either. There we go. I found it. I found it. Because I got to go do a little checking on some stuff here on the old lapper topper. There's the plug hole. But I found my cord. It's okay. Go ahead and take a seat, everybody. Lurking is free. Well, it's not really free, but PayPal and Cash App's floating on the banner. If anybody wants to throw anything out there. Yep, it's one of those days. So we push the button. Bam. Okay. We're booting up, people. We're booting, we're booting, we're booting. Anybody know what a boot is? Let's see. Well, a boot could be many things. A boot could be like one of those things you put on your feet when they're cold. Well, a boot could be something you get when people don't like you in their chat. Let's see. There's lots of kinds of boots. You never know what kind of boot is going to happen. So just get prepared. Wear your butt cushion. Well, hello, Mr. Bluestone. Good morning. Good to see you. I just want to make sure here that um, I got to go check a couple things. How are you doing, Mr. Bluestone? You know, my birthstone is blue. It's sapphire, which is always a good thing. I figured eventually it always takes a little while this early in the morning. Everybody was up late last night. A lot of streaming going on all night. So it'll be a little bit probably before people come slinking in with their coffee and their baking. I'm sure everybody's baking. Okay, it says I have internet access. Wow. Okay, cool beans. I need to go look here. No, that's not the one. Up, 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 up. I'm looking for something here. Let's see. There we go. Um, oh, now isn't that the squats there? Okay, there we go. Let's go to this. Haha. I hate it when that little monkey and his hammer comes up and goes, something went wrong. Hello, Miss B. How you doing, honey? Good to see you today. How you feeling? Got your coffee, Miss B? I noticed them YouTube screets was hopping last night. A lot of people fell asleep on panels and it was kind of different, but I'm just doing some double checking here on my situation. Oh, there it went. Okay. It must still be loading because, aha. Okay. Well, then you realize once you come up, you realize that you are not on the right page. Okay. And then you switch pages. Yep, I was on the wrong page. There we go. This is the right page. Yeah, I'm still hopping, baby. You know me. I always have so many things to do. It does. My day's always very busy. I have to get started really early. If I don't get started early, I won't get anything done. It's like I tell everybody, early bird catches the worm. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm always up early, mainly. Oh, yep. You know what they always say, don't you? If you can't beat them, join them. Yes, Miss B. For you anytime, my dear. Hang on one second. Here you go, sweetie. Come on up. Dang, I had 1.3 thousand views on my last live stream. That's a pretty good lot. Pretty good, pretty good amount. Ha ha ha. Evan, good morning. I'm still been trying to get a hold of Nikki, Evan. She was supposed to call me last night and she didn't call and I haven't been able to reach her since. I'm just hoping she's okay. I love you, hubby. No, I've been worried about Nikki all night. I couldn't even hardly sleep. I just keep texting her. Maybe she'll figure out I'm looking for her. Yeah, I went back and late last night and watched all the watched all the live streams and listened to listened to Jessica's little bit of stuff for a little while. And I fell asleep. And I wake up and him and Scammy are sleeping. Everybody else is just doing what the fuck ever, I guess. Good morning, Miss B.
Good morning, Miss Stella. How you doing today?
Oh, waking up trying to. I've been doing my stretches and the things you do when you wake up in the morning because you're all tight, muscles all tight and all that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But what are you talking about? If you can't beat them, you're gonna join them. What kind of group you
Oh, not
join?
me. Not me.
Oh, okay, okay,
No,
okay.
that's
Uh,
just an old saying, you
right,
know.
I know it's what I was saying, but I was
Yeah.
wondering if you were joining a group.
Now I put a lot of old sayings up on my thing for the topic of the day. See,
Oh, okay,
and you
okay.
never know what will come of it. Sometimes
Right.
a lot of people know what it is, and sometimes people are too young to know what it means
Oh,
because
oh, I
you
know
know,
what.
yeah, us older folks, we know what all these old sayings means. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Yeah, but a lot of
Right.
these younger folk, they don't know. They got no earthly idea.
Well, you see, you piqued my interest. What is she talking about? What group she joining up with at her age?
Well, actually, I would like to join Girl Scouts if I wasn't too old. Because I love their Girl Scout freaking cookies. I'm not kidding you. Oh my God, those what are those called? Those peanut butter ones.
Wh-
Oh, those,
Which
oh man,
one? I like
the
the
old
one.
school ones, the old
Yeah, with
plain
the
Jane.
sandwich.
Yeah, yeah, they're just like an old peanut butter cookie. But there's
Yeah, yeah.
just something about that cookie, man. It's so good with a nice hot cup of coffee. I'm not kidding.
Well,
I
me.
helped one of my subscribers, to I worked with them for a little while, helped them get their channel up. They got monetized and all that. Of course, they moved on and left me. They never come around anymore. They usually don't. But no, but his little girl was selling Girl Scout cookies, and so I had to buy me a bunch of them. This was sometime last year, I guess.
What they cost? What, $6 a box now?
I think that's about what they were, six something. Well, I gave her a few bucks extra to ship them to me because they're in another state. So I don't remember, but it was well worth it, whatever it was.
Well, all I know is when I was a young lady, a little baby, just say a baby, okay? They were
Uh-huh.
50 cents a box.
Oh yeah, they were cheap. Everything was cheap back in my day. I mean
50
everything.
and that thing. And then you know what? It was more cookies for 50 cents than you get for $6.
Oh my God, do you not remember taking your pop bottles down to the local store and cashing them in and getting your 3 cents and getting you
Yeah.
three pieces of candy for that old pop bottle? I'm like,
Well,
oh man, this has got to be a business venture for me. I'm a kid, but I'm already thinking, hey, yeah, man, this is a way to make money, you know. But then I go cash them in, but then instead of keeping that money, I bought them 3 pieces of candy with it, right? Because they were penny. Candy was two for a penny even sometimes back then.
and
You could get,
cookies too.
yeah, everything, everything. And like on Halloween when you went trick or treating, you didn't always get store bought candy. I mean, these people made homemade stuff and give it to you. You know what I'm
I,
saying? You could actually get some good trick and treatings back then.
my, my friend, her mother, right now today, the oldest what we are, she did all my children and everybody. She makes candy apples.
Yeah, we did that on Halloween.
And you ought to see the people at their house on Halloween. Because everybody knows she gonna have, and she has. I mean, she just have them lined up, and they be so good. Oh Lord,
Well, by
I
the
tried
time
to
my
freeze
my
one
kids
time.
got a little bigger, they was doing mean things on Halloween. People were putting razor blades in candy and poison and drugs and untelling what else. So at this point, I got a little afraid of letting my children go trick or treating. So I
Oh,
started having Halloween parties at my house for them.
right, that's what we do. We don't go street hopping.
Right.
We only went to people. Well, I work
I figure
with
because
a lot
it's
of
not about
people.
the candy, it's about the excitement for the kids anyway. Because if I want my kids to have candy, I'll just go buy them some, right? So,
Well, I didn't get my children eat candy anyway. I didn't allow them to eat. I mean, not to sit down with a bag of candy, a
but
piece of candy.
At my Halloween parties, I made pinatas, and I'd fill them. They were big ones too. I mean, great big pinatas that I. It took me like months to make them, you know.
Hmm.
And then I would fill them full of candy, couple $100 worth of candy in each one of them, and the kids liked that. But we played games. We had music going and the apple dunking and pinning a tail on the donkey. And I don't remember now what all games we played, but the kids had a
Yeah.
really good time and didn't go
What,
trick or treating.
what
Okay.
don't you know? What don't you know that about 10 years ago they stopped the apple dumping thing, where we used to, dunk for the apples and pick them up with our mouth. You can't do that
Yeah.
anymore.
Well,
They
yeah,
stopped it.
because of COVID, I'm
No, no,
sure.
no. Long before COVID. Long before
Oh, I
COVID.
didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
hmm.
And it made sense though. Yeah, we were well shit, I guess we had took so many shots and pills and ate dirt and everything else that it didn't even bother us. We never thought about it, that we were passing along germs digging in that bucket for them apples.
We never thought about that either because I mean we made mud pies and ate dirt and rocks and shit when I was a
Yeah,
kid. You know, we
yeah.
did not worry about getting a germ, believe me.
Go
That's why I
go
can't believe
across
I
the
have allergies bad like I do now. Because when I was a kid, I ate everything. If it's on the
Oh, me
ground,
too.
I ate it. Okay.
Oh, me too. I have allergies so bad. Oh Lord.
Yeah, but usually you build up an immunity to them when you eat dirt and rocks and you're outside. You know, back in our day, see, we were outside all the time. We didn't have computers and laptops and phones
Yes.
and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff shoved in our ass 24/7, right? I mean, we
Yeah,
if we wanted to find something to do, we had to absolutely you either go out and you find a hoe or a rake or a shovel and you
right.
work the garden or you
Yeah,
or you mow the lawn, but you go
right.
outside and you find something to do if it ain't nothing but take a piece of cardboard up on the top of the old dirt hill and set on it and slide it all the way down to the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we had this older man that lived on the corner house where we grew up at, and we had balls. Everybody had a brand new ball on Christmas, right? Everybody. So by the
Oh
time
yeah.
summertime come around, all the balls them got run over by cars, messed over in bushes. We didn't kick them so much they got holes in them and stuff. And that man would take all of those balls, and he would make each one of them balls work so that we would have balls in the summertime, because mama and them wasn't gonna keep buying that same old mess. That's what they used to call it, mess. I'm not buying that mess no more. If you can't keep up with it, then forget about it. And
Yeah,
that's what we
no,
do.
I
I
go
mean,
out
we
here and
play
I look
with
in the
balls with
yard.
tape on
The
it, and
kids' balls are all over the place out here. I'm gonna have to go gather them up and air them up. They're going out of
yeah,
air. That they like
yeah,
to play kickball and stuff out here.
yeah. I'm just saying we had tape on the balls, and nobody. We thought it was a badge of honor to have a ball that had a tape on it and still hold air.
Well, heck yeah, duct tape works wonders.
Yeah, yeah, shoes. And now these children won't even pick up a ball.
No, you can't. Believe it or not, you can't hardly even get them to go outside.
Well, my youngest son, all my children
Well,
grown now.
my little great grandson, the 9-year old, he's always in his phone or in his game or in his something, right? And
Right.
I said, well, today's a nice day. Why don't you go outside and ride your bicycle? And he kept using an excuse. I think he was been letting the air out of the tires on it himself. No, I'm not kidding you. Just so he
I
wouldn't have to go
believe it.
outside and ride his bicycle. So he tried to bring that excuse on me. Well, it's got a flat tire. I said, no, it don't. I got me a brand new tire air compressor and I aired up your bike tires. So he had to go outside and ride the bike. He really didn't want to have to do that. He,
Yeah.
I think he knows I've caught on to his little trick now.
Right, right. Well, my children, none of my children were indoor children. I made sure that even as a
Oh,
working
mine wasn't
parent,
either,
we
but like I
went
said, they're
camping. We was in the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, you name it. We were
yeah.
outside doing it. We were always out and about doing it, because nothing grows in the house but trouble.
Well,
My
and all the
yeah,
kids would sit inside and nitpicked at each other and fought
yeah.
and kicked and agitated,
Mhm.
kind of like they
Because
do on YouTube. It kind of
right,
reminds me of the kids when they were little. But
Well, the kids, you remember the Little Rascals,
oh yes,
Alfalfa and them.
Def alfalfa, you got it.
Okay, okay, you remember Alfalfa and them? They were the Little Rascals,
Yep,
and they always had a rich kid that come into their neighborhood. Remember, with
yep,
all the rich stuff, and they would try, and the rich kid would try to bake them with their brand new toys and bikes and stuff, and they would go back over there and stay to go back to with their little raggedy balls and stuff. But there was always one or two of them that wanted to stay with the rich kid.
yeah,
They
exactly.
wanted the
There you
rich
go.
kid ball until they found out the rich kid had a motive, and the motive was to make him be the leader of them and not part of the gang, the rascals. And
Right.
they finally, and then what the Spanking and Alfalfa used to say, don't worry about them, leave them. They'll come back when they find out what we already know.
Exactly.
That's the same thing about YouTube. YouTube is out here now. They got provocateurs out here working overtime, and they go to the people who they know they can trigger. They don't mess with people they can't trigger because they need a motive, they need a narrative, and they need a speech. If
Right.
you don't talk to them, if you don't communicate with them, they have no voice. But it's so many people because you'll never win with a provocateur. You know that. Look at Alfalfa and them. They just walked away from them. Remember, they just walked away.
Good morning,
And
Blue Steel.
then the next thing you know, the rich kid and family moved away, and they were still there and all friends. And they would ask each other, "Can you
Well, that
forgive
poor
me
little
for?"
rich kid, he probably had parents that moved with their work and they probably moved quite often. So
Mhm.
that rich kid probably never got to make very many friends. And that's why he didn't worry about it because he knew, well, my parents, we're going to have to be moving soon anyway. They always do because a lot
Right,
of
right,
parents did. You know, they moved
right.
around with their jobs. And
Especially if
so,
they was in the military.
yep, exactly. Yes. And we had a lot of
Mhm.
military going on back then and back in our days, you know.
Yes, we
Seemed like we
did.
was
Yes.
always at a war.
And well, we still at war. When the wars haven't
Yep.
stopped, kids just stop going.
Hey,
The
good
wars
morning,
have not
Tyler.
stopped. You know that the kids just stop going. They stopped being told they're going to fight somebody else's war. They stopped being told what they were going to do, and they stopped going. So now they have to just take what they can get.
Yeah, they used to require back when I was in school, when I was
Hmm.
in high school now,
Yeah,
they made you sign up for the military when you turned
yeah. The
18.
draft. No, you was
Y-
already signed up at birth. The draft, you got your draft. Because my brother got one. I know when my brother got one.
Yeah,
He got
yeah,
his draft. He turned 18 on in November. I can't remember the year, but he turned 'cause he old now. I'm the baby
yeah,
of the family. And he turned 18 and he got his letter, but he didn't go that year because of his birthday. His birthday is in November. So he didn't go that year
right.
because he had
But
to
they
go
had
back
to,
to high school. He had to finish
right,
high school.
right. He couldn't go till the next year.
Right,
Well,
because he was still
by
in
the
high
time my
school.
kids got old enough, they didn't have any draft anymore.
Right, right. I think they stopped that when in the 80s. They stopped the
Uh,
draft. Reagan, I think Reagan stopped the
it
draft in the
it
80s.
it might have been because well, my kids were born in the 70s, the early
Hmm.
part of 70s, so that's probably right. They weren't, like I said, they weren't old enough, but for any draft, so that's probably about right. It sounds
Yeah.
about right to me.
But yeah, but that's what's
I know they done away with it right before my son got old enough. My youngest son got old enough to be drafted or whatever.
but I think Reagan the one got rid of it. I think Reagan the one that stopped the draft, the
See,
mandatory
my
draft.
kids'
You had to
dad was
volunteer to go
he was
in.
a Marine, and
Hmm.
you know, so I mean, I was used to military stuff, you know, but none of my siblings, none of my little babies was ever in the military, nor was I.
Yeah. Well, I work for the government, and I was told when I started working for the government, the worst thing you can do to your children is get them involved with this community, give them an education and guidance away from here. So there was never no doubt in my mind. And then my dad, he had a bad experience in the military back in the 30s. So the military wasn't even on our plate. But my
Yeah,
oldest brother,
my dad was he fought in 2 or 3 wars,
yeah,
but
well,
he
my
was
dad had a
he
real
was born
bad.
in 1911. So
Yeah, well, my dad was born in 1922, and he had a real bad experience. He went in when he was 15 and came out as soon as he could.
I
I
was
think
gonna
he
say
was
my dad
16 and
went
a half.
in when he was real young too, like that.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
they
that
don't
was.
let you do that no more. But back in
No,
the day, they did.
yeah. Well, now they require. Well, I don't know. They probably done dropped the standards like everything else the government has done. They used to require you to have a high school diploma and a clear criminal background to join the military. Because when you were drafted, see, they used to have a lot of people in jail. They if you had a
Well, the
choice if you got
only way
arrested.
back then that they wouldn't take you is if you had flat feet, whatever that was
Right.
about.
No, they
Remember?
would take you with they would take you with flat feet if you had a criminal record. You had a choice. You need to go to jail or to the front line.
Yep,
That was the choice back then. So these young people today, they don't understand how good they have it,
they sure
and
don't.
but they don't take advantage of it. They, I mean, you do everything you can as a parent to tell them this is what you got to do. I'm telling you this is it because these are the mistakes I made, and I'm
But
telling you
they're
these
not going to
mistakes.
listen.
Yeah, and
That's
the
the
mistakes
deal.
I'm telling you I made, my mom and daddy told me the same mistakes that they made. And they're just a cycle. You got to break the cycle.
Yep,
And that's what's hard to do. It's hard to break a cycle. And see, that's what happened. That's what done happened into this community here. Because before they came up with these panels and stuff, the only way you could communicate with people was out on the streets going live. You was
yep.
one on one. So then they made these panels, and now you can have a bunch of people up, and a lot of people come up with a narrative and a motive, and it's not no good for you or me. It's for to push their narrative and their motive, and that's why the panels is failing, and that's their goal is to fail the panels. So
You said you
being a
worked for the government, Miss B?
hmm
Oh,
hmm
cool.
I retired.
What type of work was it?
I work for the prison system. I
Oh,
retired
okay.
24
Oh, I
years.
remember you saying that. Yes, ma'am.
hmm
I sure
Yeah,
do.
yeah, I
Well, I took
retired.
the government test. I passed it, of course, with flying colors. But the problem was, this was for the to work at the post office. Okay, you had to
hmm
take that government big, long, humongous, day long test, right?
Yeah,
And
I
so
took
I
it.
made, but my problem was is they gave the military people free points because they hire you on a point system.
hmm
hmm So they gave the
hmm
military people free 10 points, right? Just because they'd been in the military. So the military people always got hired ahead of me because they had more points, even though I
Yeah.
had a high score. I mean, I had like a 98, it was like almost 100%.
But still, you have to remember, back in the 70s and the 80s, a lot of people was flocking to the government. I know in Texas area where I'm from, it's because the oil business dried up. They deliberately, intentionally, and purposely shut down every oil field in Texas to put people out of work. They made the Texas a crack infested poison system. You lived in Texas
I
before. You
lived
know
in
I'm not
Texas.
lying. You
Oh
know
yeah,
I'm not lying.
I lived there over 10 years in around the Dallas Fort Worth area.
That was and that's where a lot of the oil wells was. That's was strategically done.
Right.
Too many people was having too much nice things.
Yep.
The government does not allow that at all. In Texas, don't you know that the Congress in Texas meet every other year? They don't work every day, every year, but we pay them for a year's salary.
Well,
Did you know
yeah,
that?
and they make good money too. They make real
And
good money.
and they only work like 3 months every other year.
Yeah, they don't have to work at all. But I know Texas is a money state. That's the reason I moved there, because
Hmm.
I thought this is a state I can just do really well in, and I did. I did
Yeah.
really well. But um
But let me tell you what Texas did. Back in the 70s, the early 70s, I was in high school, I mean, in elementary school at this time. Back then, what they did, they started dumbing down the school. Too many smart people was coming out of school. The way you control people is dumb them down. They got rid of truancy house because you missed a day of school, truancy house is at your door, right? They
oh
stopped
yeah.
all of that stuff. All of that went away. I talked to young girls that come, through the visitation system and stuff.
Mhm.
And I say, oh, look at these little cute little babies, because I'm nosy, right? I said, oh, look at
Right.
these cute little babies. Y'all ready for school? Well, now they can't go to school the next one. That school start the middle of August since I can remember. Okay, but when I first started school, we started school the day after Labor Day, but then they changed it to the middle of September because they gave us more holidays out of
Right.
school. And but this young lady say, oh, now they ain't going to school the next month. I ain't got no money for no school clothes. I say, so when did you know school was going to start for these babies? Because they old enough to be in school. When did you know school was going to start? And what the hell you doing down here? Because you spend money to come down here and you finna spend a bunch of money on a bunch of trash and you can't get these children in school.
Well, my kids went to school out in the hood, okay?
Mhm.
Uh South Oak Cliff.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
Oh yeah. Well, I lived right dead up in the middle of it. And but when they went to school every day, they'd already taken out the Pledge of Allegiance and all the stuff out of the schools. But these every day they had my kids were the only white children in this whole entire school, right? And there was
Mhm.
one Mexican family. But every day they had the kids in the class stand up and they'd say they had all the black children stand up and go, "I'm black and I'm proud." And then they had the Mexican kids stand up and go, you know, "I'm Mexican and I'm proud." But they had my kids stand up and go, "I'm Anglo and I'm proud." And I'm like, what in the fuck? What they calling my kids a Anglo? I was
Uh, but
tripping, you know.
let's see, your children had the opposite from us because where I grew up at, on one side was the black side, the other side was the white side, and this about the time when the integration came
The
about.
segregation, yeah.
Yeah, so all the black children they was picking on us because they were going to the black school, and all the white children picked on us because we was the only black children in the white school. So
Yeah.
you know.
My kids were the
So
odd
I
one.
understand what you
Okay.
said. I
Yeah.
understand exactly
So
what you said. Because we
but
were the only black
they had no
kids.
issues because my kids weren't prejudiced, they weren't racist, they weren't because they weren't raised like that. So they got along really well in that school system. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
we call hell. We call hell in that white school. Them white children, the white teachers, the white principal. Nobody. We couldn't eat in the lunchroom. We had to
And
take our lunch to school. We call hell in that school. But you know what we did in the
my
end?
kids had more issues when they went to white schools, okay, where majority of the
Mhm.
children were white,
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
But we integrated that school. We integrated that school because they could no longer tell the children all the bad stuff about black people. And my mama was a civil rights activist, okay? A
Yes,
civil rights. When I say civil rights, and we lived in the South, so you know what civil rights activists was like back then.
yes, ma'am.
Mess with one of us if you want to in that school. Not only my mama coming there, the pastor coming, the deacon coming. You know what I'm
I was
saying?
gonna say, yeah, you're bringing your whole family and the whole community steps in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Because you're not gonna mistreat my children. They're gonna go to this school, and we didn't want to go to that school, and she be
My kids
telling us, "Shut
honestly,
up."
that's probably the only school they went to where they weren't mistreated by some of the
Yeah,
faculty or
yeah.
or somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's the only school
Mhm.
they ever went to. And they went to
Yeah.
a lot of different schools, throughout time. And
But it was
That was
good
the
though. It
only
was
one
good.
yeah, that was the only school though that were my kids were not they were not mistreated by the faculty at the school. I mean,
Eh,
I didn't have to go up there and try to whoop a teacher's ass because she put fingerprint bruises in my kid's arm, grabbing it and yanking it and dragging it down a hallway or doing whatever,
Well, that's the kind of stuff we had to deal with.
Yeah, me
That's the
too.
kind of stuff we
I dealt
we
with it
had to
on, but
do.
not in that school system, not in that one.
But
It's the
right,
only one.
but now when we went to the black school, we didn't have no problems like that. Well, I mean, it was we really
Yeah,
my
that's
mama
what I'm
messed us
saying.
up. She took us from structure to unstructured, and she but because they used us as pawns to change these people's minds. We were just pawns being used. We didn't know that then. We were just kids. But we were used as pawns because everything. I mean, when we went to school, we had to wear certain clothes. When we went to the white school, we could wear anything we want. You know what I'm saying? Then my
Yeah.
mom and them
Well,
was up
Tyler,
there.
yeah, we're not talking about getting mistreated by the students and things like. I mean, the other children. You know,
No, no,
we're,
we
we're
talking
I,
about the staff.
yeah, we're talking about staff. Yeah, we're
Yeah, we
talking
talking
about
about the
the
grown
school
people.
teachers, the principals, the vice
Yeah,
principals, all that jazz. I was always at a school board meeting trying to get my word in there.
that was my mama.
Yep, I was. Well, I raised my kids, as a single parent. So I
Hmm.
had to be the one that always stood up for them and fought for them and did this and did that, because they had nobody else. I was it.
Well, if you didn't live through that generation and you under 40, you don't understand what I'm saying because it sounds like, oh Lord, but this is what we actually went through. We
Yep.
went through that. And when
Yeah.
I started working for the government, it was worse.
Yeah. Well, that's
It was
because it's
worse.
because you was raised right, Tyler. It's like my kids. See, I raised my kids to not make no difference in color, race, religion, whatever.
We
And
didn't
and they,
either.
and they did, but yeah, because back in our day, it just that wasn't an important thing.
Hmm. I mean, my mama didn't play that. My mama, my mama best friends, all my mama best friends was white. All I'm telling you, the people that looked after us the most, uh, and we used to go spend the night at their house. Can I tell you something, Stella? And I hope you believe me. When we were little kids, my mom would let us go spend the night at her white friend's house, and we never spent one night at one of her relatives' house.
Huh?
Can you believe that?
Yeah. My kids were only allowed to stay the night at my mother's house. I didn't
Yeah,
let them go stay anywhere when they
but
were
that
when they were young children.
yeah, and they used to come stay at our house. Like a mama had to go out of town, or their mamas, somebody had to go out of town for a
And then I
family
either had
emergency
to
or something.
take them, and she
Mhm,
lived in my same neighborhood, right? But I still
mhm.
I took them there. I made sure they were safely at her home, before
Right?
I leave. Yeah. I mean, you
Mhm.
watched your children back then. Nowadays, kids
Yeah.
don't, they're latchkey kids, they just do whatever they want to because the parents are trying to work, make a living, and the
Mhm.
kids, they just do
Well,
whatever.
a lot of homes, even, and let me tell you, I learned this too. A lot of homes are single parent homes, and a single parent is not always a woman. Okay, there's a lot of men out there that's single parents. Hello, did I drop? Hello?
I'm here. Sorry, I was trying to fix my sound. It was messing up again. It does that.
Oh, oh wait, because I'll drop. I'll drop in a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'll be
It's
doing to
not my
make
it's
my
not
stuff
my
drop.
it's not my service or whatever. It's a StreamYard defect.
Oh, okay. But yeah, but but we never had problem. I mean, we were all and we all lived in the same neighborhood.
Yep,
Only thing segregated us was the government.
that's right. They're the ones that always was trying to drive a wedge between people. Uh
Mhm.
didn't matter what was
Communities.
going on. Yeah, communities, everything. And they're still doing it to this day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, they working overtime now. My children, we don't take nothing from the government. That's the way my daddy raised us. Nothing from the government comes in his house. So that's how.
My parents never got anything from the government, and and I always thought we were poor. You know what I'm saying? And
I
I didn't
did
even
too.
yeah, but I didn't realize until I got older that we weren't poor like I thought we were, because back then you just didn't worry about whether or not you were poor, you know.
Mm, we had clean
It's
clothes.
totally
We had
different than it
food
is
to
today.
eat. We had brand new shoe. Every time something come up, my mama bought us shoes. We got a pair like sneakers and a dress pair of shoes when school started. Then we got maybe another a pair of sneakers for Christmas, and then maybe another pair of dress shoes for Easter.
We
But we
only got
always
new
kept
shoes,
brand new shoes and
a new
stuff.
outfit of clothing before school started every year.
Yeah, I mean, so
Yeah,
what more did we need?
yeah. Well, we didn't need nothing, evidently, because all we needed was we didn't even think about you know where our next meal was coming from. We always had plenty of food and uh things like that. They did well. They believe it or not, back in them days, they didn't even have food stamps. They hadn't even come out with none of that. They
Yeah,
came out with that during the time my kids were young, were little, in the
yeah,
70s.
yeah. Because see, when they used to give out what they call the commodities or something like that. The cheese, the butter, the eggs, the powdered eggs.
Yeah,
The
they still give commodities out nowadays, but
oh, they do.
it was yeah. But do
I
you
didn't know.
remember though that do you remember the first food stamps that came out? They were uh, they were paper,
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember the paper stamps. Yeah,
and
I
you had to
remember that.
actually pay for them. You paid like 20 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
Do
Well,
you remember
like I
that?
said, my daddy never. Yeah, but my daddy never.
My parents never got nothing like that. I got it.
But
I
I
got it
remember.
one time. I got it one time. It's why I know. It's because I signed. I was between jobs, or it was
Right,
summer.
right.
I worked for Head Start. So when you work for them, you're off all during the summer. See,
Oh yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, it was one of them things. I drove the bus for Head Start.
Well, if Tyler's so boring, why he still here?
Tyler's waiting for me to take my shirt off. He just wants to see my boobs. It's that
I don't
later, Tyler.
understand.
We'll do the boob exposures later. I'm joking with
Yeah,
him. It's a joke thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep, yep.
Well, I don't mean to bore you, Tyler. We
Oh,
were just chit
Tyler.
chatting.
Yeah, we're just chit chatting. Ain't much going on today anyway.
Unless you want to come up here, I'll go. I'll step down. I don't really talk
Oh
on
no,
panels.
no. Well, I just needed somebody to. Tyler's just that's Tyler. You'll get to know Tyler eventually. Tyler's
Mhm.
just a cut up. He cuts up and acts a fool.
Yeah. What Blue still say? I remember the can of peanut butter. Yeah, that big old can of peanut butter. That was hard. My family members used to get it. And they used to try to give it to my mama. My daddy throw that. Don't bring none of that mess up in here.
Well, look, I'm gonna show. Here's what. Remember the big block of cheese we used to get back in the day?
Yeah, I
Well,
remember them.
okay. Well, check this out. This is what it looks like nowadays. It's not near as big, and the cheese isn't cheddar, or American rather. Excuse me. It was American cheese back then, and this is Bogarts. This is what they give out now, and it's more like a Velveeta. It's a soft cheese, but
That's the way.
this is government cheese, y'all.
Oh wow! How big is it?
It's
What it say?
it's not
Uh,
even half as big. The other ones used to be a great big block,
used to be
wider
like
and
5 pounds.
longer than that.
Yeah, it used
This
to
is
be like
not even
5 pounds.
uh yeah, I'm not sure how many pounds it is. I'm not sure. Yeah, this is a 2 pound log. Right. And we used to get a 5 pound back in the day. This is a 2 pound. So this is how much the government has cut our cheese down to. And you only get the cheese if you're elderly. Okay. The young people do not get the cheese and as part of the government commodity box,
Hmm.
you know, for low income families. No, they don't get that. Only the elderly gets it, and that's what they give us. Okay.
I remember, Stella, we was going, we always having a hurricane down here, right? And we were going through one of those hurricanes. I'm talking about it was a bad hurricane. The stores, all the stores was lost. The gas station was lost. We lost everything. But anyway, they were giving us out those meals that they get a military, what they call them. They came in a pouch.
Oh yeah, the MRIs.
MRIs, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Stella, when they first started giving them to us, that was a full meal. You hear me? I'm talking about an all day meal. And so the last time we had one, my friend, because my sister, she passed now. She used to love them, love those MRIs. And well, she was handicapped, so she liked because it was easy to prepare. So we had went down there and got some the next time. You should have saw what that was. I said, I know they ain't feeding this shit to the military. I mean, they had dropped down to nothing. Nasty. It didn't even look appetizing. The when they first gave them to us, I'm talking about they had like big chunks of meat in them, a piece of some type of fish or something, and it was real food, and it went to nothing. I'm like, this is what
Well,
they
I
feed
think,
the military.
yeah, and they give. I've got somewhere around here. I've got a can of the beef. I'm out of the canned pork that they give you with the. It's the government meat.
The not the potted meat, huh?
No, yeah, well, I actually it's pretty good. I like it. I use it to make chili and stews and stuff like that with. Beef stew.
Oh Lord, no, no, no.
I don't have any of that. Well, see, they also give out these big bags of something. It's either chili or beef stew, but it's mush. It's just like to me, all it is a flavoring. Okay, I usually end up if I use it, I add in my own vegetables because
Right.
well, there's not. I mean, it's just mush. There's nothing. It's supposed to have meat in it, but you can't see any meat like you're talking about. It's just smushed up, whatever. But it actually had good flavor. It's got good flavor. I throw it in a crock pot and the beef stew thing, and I'll throw in potatoes and carrots and sweet
Well, that
peas
sounds
and stuff
good.
like that in there, and it makes really good. It make a really good pot of food.
I need to get me another
But they,
slow cooker. My daughter dropped mine and broke it. Oh, I was so mad.
well, I left mine for my son to use. I left Arkansas, but my daughter, uh, she bought her a bigger one. She had uh, I don't know, I guess this one was still brand new in the box. And so she gave it to me because she wanted a bigger one. So she gave me the small. So I've got a small crock pot now.
Yeah.
But I
I
used to
need.
cook in one of those big, big, big ones all the time.
Oh, no, I don't need now no big one. Just what is it like
Not for
about a
just for me,
five
just for
quart?
me. I don't either. But I was always cooking meals and stuff for the homeless people and feeding the
Right.
homeless. And that crock pot came in handy. Actually, I cooked the food in those big stew pots. Those big
Mm-hmm.
stainless steel pots, those great big ones.
Mm-hmm.
I would cook the food in that and then put it in the crock pot and take it with me to feed out of because it would stay. I could keep it warm. I could keep
Right.
the food
Right.
warm that way. But boy,
Yeah.
them homeless people, they love my chili and they love my spaghetti and
They like anything hot.
yeah, and it's fresh food. It was something besides a sandwich because I handed out
Mm.
sandwiches on days I didn't have time to cook or I was running behind, sometimes
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
because I
my
had a
friend,
cer- had a certain time on Saturdays and Sundays that I went and set up to feed. So sometimes
yeah,
I'd be stopping at the store on the way picking stuff up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Just to make sure I had stuff because I always went to dollar store too because I always made sure I had socks and gloves and beanies and stuff like that to hand out. So
mm-hmm.
I would
That's
go
so
I
hard.
would go every winter when the dollar stores would have all their clearance sales. and I would pick up all them gloves and beanies. You could get them for 10 cents or a quarter a piece, you know. And,
Right.
and I would just buy bags and bags and bags of them, and then I'd sit on them till the next winter when we do our Operation Safe Winter for the homeless. See, and then
Hmm.
I would take in some other donations too. The churches I was affiliated with would collect from the church members. They would bring
Right.
they would just bring a big bunch of stuff, and I always met this one lady, and she'd gather it all up for me from the church members, and I'd meet her in the parking lot. We'd take it out of her van and throw it into mine. So by the time I get down there, I had all kinds of stuff to give away.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the people appreciate it because, like, my friend, she passed. We used to work together for years, and I told her, and we would always say that we wasn't gonna work until we died, right? And
Yeah.
she retired, and the next year she passed.
Oh, well, at least she didn't
Mhm.
die working. She
Right,
did
right.
she did get to retire first, so I guess that's a good thing.
But when we were working and stuff, she used to work for well, she called it work, but it was volunteer at her church, and they used to go to Walmart. I think once a month they had like four Walmarts that they went to in the community, and
Uh-huh.
they would have so much stuff like those open bags of socks, underwear, bras, anything that didn't sell. That was walked on the floor, got dirty or something.
Yep.
They gave it to. I mean, they would have boxes and boxes of stuff. Oh Lord have mercy. I'm like, this don't make no sense. In
And the
in the
grocery
baby stuff.
store would give me some of their leftover deli stuff sometimes too, that they uh especially if they had a special, like a Valentine's
Hmm.
Day special. One time they gave me just cases and cases and cases of chocolate dipped strawberries or dipped in chocolate. They pick those up in real fancy little boxes and
Oh
sell them for
yeah,
four
for
four four
$20.
strawberries, yeah, for $20 or whatever. Yeah, big old high price. And then they would give me all the leftovers, and I'd go give it away free to the homeless people. They'd
Yeah.
give me as much as I wanted. I never did take all they had because they just had too much. I didn't have anywhere to keep it. You had to keep that stuff in a refrigerator.
Yeah, because I was gonna
But
say that's
I'd
perishable.
take 10
Yeah.
or 12 cases, which is boxes full of it.
Ooh, Lord,
And
yes.
they still had tons of it left. And so, but they would call me up and ask me if I could use some donations, and they'd say, "Well, come down and get it.
Hmm.
It's ready." I go down there
Yeah.
and tell them who I was and what I was there for, and then they go, "Well, how much do you want?" And I'm going, "Well," I told them because usually uh, you know, on a weekend I'd feed about 80 people a day. Is about what we
Ooh.
fed out, and so I
You was
took it.
on them. You was busy.
Yes, very busy.
80 people.
But I took some extras because I gave a lot of people, I gave them some with their meal, but I gave them some take home with them too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, there's no way in the world I would ever eat that much straw. I love strawberries, don't get me wrong, but I probably didn't eat. I bet I ate one box out of all that. I ate one little box, had about four or six strawberries in it. About the only thing I ate out of the whole mess. I was more happy to be giving it away. I had more fun doing that.
Right. I know. I don't know if you heard of Joe V's. It's like what the what you would call it, the store under HEB, because all of their stuff in the store is HEB stuff.
Yeah, I remember HEB. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's a Texas brand store, and they sell
right.
nothing but HEB brand stuff. And it's like when it doesn't sell in the big stores, they move it to those little stores.
I had a
It's
lot of
called
fun
Joe
jobs
V.
in Texas.
Yeah, well, Joe V's one Valentine's Day they had made this strawberry chocolate covered vanilla ice cream, and they only made it in the quart sizes, and they were
Mhm.
selling them 50 cents a quart, right? Still, if I tell you my son didn't eat 20 of them a day,
Oh,
that
hell,
boy
for that
couldn't
price,
get a
I
dollar
would
before he
have.
was running to get two more. So they finally got down to the end. It was maybe about 10 of them left, and he goes so much and get it. The lady said, I say these for you. 'Cause I know
Well,
you was gonna say,
well, I drove an old box truck for this grocery supply company for a while, and I sold Shiner beer and those fruit drinks called Mr. Pure. I don't know if you ever heard of those or not. They used to have them stocked in all the convenience stores.
I never heard of Mr. Pierre.
Well, Texas was the only place I saw either one of these items ever. Was when I was putting it out in these little small town. I drove to all these little small towns. I had a big area that I had to cover. And
But
sometimes, I mean, I didn't get home, till midnight sometimes. I was,
and back up at
by
5.
the time I made all my deliveries and got everything done, then I was 2 or 3 hours away from where I lived, time I made my circles and dropped everything off and had to go in them old cold coolers and drag that dolly full of beer and them drinks in there and put in there and freeze to death all day long.
But people don't understand. Texas is a very selfish state. A lot of stuff in Texas you can't find nowhere but Texas.
Yeah, they got it's like they got their own stuff.
They do. HEB, everything in HEB is made in Texas in San Antonio. They have their own
Yeah.
cannery, their own winery. If it has HEB, if it says HEB or Hills Country Fair, something like not Hills Country Fair. What is it? It's something like that. But anyway, those two they are made in San Antonio. Nothing is powdered, cut or nothing. All the
I know they
vegetables.
bought a lot of that. Remember them old peanut patties? The
Mm-hmm.
peanut brittle, the little round ones? Boy, them people in Texas sure like them because I sure did. I left a ton of that in every store I went to.
Talking
That
about them
thing,
little
whatever that was, it sold like hotcakes. I didn't care for it, but
the peanut patties. They were purple, reddish color.
yep.
Yeah, you didn't like them.
No, I didn't care for them.
Well, you had to like peanut. Texas is a peanut country.
I was gonna say the people in Texas sure like those peanut patties. And barbecue. Barbecue was their other favorite thing because after I put my store in, I had
Mhm.
people flying in on the weekends just to buy my barbecue. They would fly
I,
in helicopters. My real estate man, he had his own helicopter. People there had money. I mean, he just took his kid back and forth to school and dropped his child off at school in his helicopter every day.
mhm. Just that we used to like this weekend is the 4th of July weekend. So you already know everybody gonna barbecue 4th of July weekend. Okay, so you think that the day before the 4th of July weekend, people not gonna be barbecuing? The day after the 4th of July, people barbecuing. People barbecue every day in Texas. Every day.
Well, that's when I lived in South Oak Cliff. That's what they did every night, just as it was getting dark. It's like there was never anybody around. It was quiet as a house mouse all day long. And dark 30 came. The barbecue grills came out. The domino tables came out. They would be slapping them bones, and the poker tables. They'd be
Yes.
throwing quarters throwing the quarters, at the wall, winning their quarters. And it was just it was always something.
Yeah. But if you was gonna always have something on the pit, it's gonna always be something.
Yep, a lot of chicken.
Oh Lord, chicken and ribs.
I was
That's
gonna say in ribs. Yep, and ribs. You can't leave them wangs and them ribs. Can't leave that out. Yep.
yep, that's
We had
Texas
some good
there.
ribs here last week. We had some people come in over the weekend from out of town, and
Mm.
so they cooked a lot of ribs and some steaks and pork chops and hamburgers and I don't know,
Oh
man.
Lord.
Oh yeah, they throw out some food around here. When especially if they got visitors.
That's the only thing about barbecuing. When you do it, you're gonna always cook more than you want because the fire gonna be going so good. You got to go. You gonna go look to find something else to put on that fire. Oh, that fire just not burning right.
My daughter just had to go buy her third barbecue grill since I've been here just over the winter. Uh, they cook wintertime and all here. But she's on her third barbecue grill. She done wore out a charcoal, a small charcoal one, a gas one, and now they're back. They got another charcoal one now. They
I
buy them
don't
and
see.
cook. They cook in them till they wear them out. They just cook, cook, cook.
But you know what we're having a problem with down here, and this is gonna shock you really. Wood. You can't find wood nowhere in Texas. Oh,
Hmm.
on my end. On my
Well,
end.
I sold a lot of firewood because I bought up 3/4 of a subdivision. I had a lot of uh, oak trees. Okay, there was a lot of 'em.
Oh,
Oh yeah. So I sold a lot of firewood. I remember selling it for $125 a cord. I don't know what it sells for now, but that's what I sold it for out of my
well,
store. That was when I was
my,
in Trinidad, Texas.
my
That's
neighbor he
about
used
an
to.
hour south of Dallas.
But my neighbor, he used to sell wood. He used to have apple wood, peach wood, any kind of wood you wanted. He had it. This man have not had wood in 2 years.
But I couldn't keep wood. I couldn't that was one thing I was always selling out of. I couldn't keep hay
Hmm.
bale, round bales, square bales. A lot of farmers out there. A lot of
Yeah,
farmers.
and they
You
love
know,
their
with
animal.
cattle. Well, a lot of time they couldn't get into their if it'd been raining too bad. You know how it gets in Texas, that sandy loam soil. And these
Hmm.
farmers, they couldn't get in. They could in certain days they couldn't get in to get to their round bales to bring it out for their cattle. Right? They couldn't get the tractor in there because it's too muddy. So
Right.
they'd come up and load up. Because I always let them just come take what they wanted. And then,
Hmm.
because they got up like earlier in the morning than I did to go feed cattle. So they would come back by later on in the day and pay me, but they'd come load up what they needed, and they knew I didn't care. And then they
Right.
come later on that day, and I had charge. I would let them run charge accounts, and you know when they didn't have it was old country store.
Yeah. Yeah. Texas is it's a mean place if you let it be, but it's a good place if you want it to be.
You got to
But
make it. You got to make it what you want it to be. It ain't going to get give to you anywhere. I've done. I mean, I've
mm-mm.
done been through.
But
I've owned a business just about everywhere I've ever lived. Okay.
yeah, yeah, Texas is a good. I mean, if anybody live in Texas and they are broke, it's because they want to be broke. Because it is
Broke. Either
so
that or they're
much
just too
money
lazy.
in
They're too
Texas.
lazy. Yeah, it is. Texas is a money state. Always has been.
I'm telling you, uh, I know when I first started working for the government, their favorite line was, "If you don't like it here, McDonald's is hiring." Right,
Yeah,
so they start firing
exactly.
their behinds for saying that because people was actually quitting going to McDonald's and becoming managers and stuff with the experience that they had working in the kitchen or something, within the government, and they stopped them from saying that mess.
My sister did it the ass
A
backward way.
job is a job.
Yeah. Well, my sister went to beauty school. She learned how to do hair. She worked as a cosmetologist, or whatever it's called, for a long time. Then she went to school and got her teacher license. Then she taught uh, people how to do hair and nails and all that. Well,
Mhm.
uh, then she quit doing that. She got bored with it, I guess. She went to work for McDonald's. She retired from there. She was a manager at one of the McDonald's. Her whole life after that, right? Didn't
And
use her
probably
education.
make eighty,
Well, but
ninety
get this,
thousand dollars a year.
yeah, and then after she retired from there, then she went to work. Then she went to work for the school system over in Indiana.
Yeah.
So she went from a beautician, right, over. Then she became the McDonald's manager, and then she ended up back in the school system. She kind of did things a little backward there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you in Texas, I don't care where you were. I met this little young guy because I go to the law library like twice a week. So I was going to the law library. I met this little young guy. He worked at McDonald's or Burger King, one of them, and he smelled just like their food. And he said he was training to be a manager like that. And I said, well, what are you gonna do? You go to college? He said, yes, ma'am, I go to college, but I'm not in college right now. I just made a mistake. I said, well, what kind of mistake you made? He said, I got a girl pregnant, so now I got to do the man thing. right? I
Yep.
say, well, you're right. You got to do the man thing. That's a good. I commend you for that. And so he said, but the only problem is I don't know how long I'm able to stay at McDonald's. He says I'm making enough money, but don't nobody want to work, and I can't do everybody's job. I can't referee. I can't do none of that stuff. So I never thought that I'd be trying to make people work. And he said that they started off at $15 an hour.
Yeah. McDonald's, yeah, they do now.
And
They
these
were
is high school
back a
students.
few years ago, they were paying $13 an hour starting pay at
Yeah,
McDonald's.
yeah. He said they won't come to work. When they come, they won't do nothing.
That's true.
But I told him, I said,
Because
well,
they're
you
just
just do what
lazy.
you
They're
can do.
lazy. They're
Yeah.
lazy. They expect everything to be handed to them, and that's all they're ever going to do.
But I used to tell people all the time, most
My
jobs
my
do.
kids were all workers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
I've worked. I've been working.
they went through life watching me have to work my butt off, so they know if you don't work, you ain't never gonna have nothing. Nothing.
Well, I've been working since I was 9 years old. Babysitting, but I was working. I was getting
Well,
the
I
pay.
babysitted and I also did hair. All the ladies that lived around us, my mama and her friends, they paid me, and it wasn't a lot of money, but I'd get paid
Yeah,
$5 to do their hair up in them beehives and them French curls and pile a foot tall on their head. No, I did, and that was a little kid doing
yeah,
this.
yeah. I mean, we always, but these children today, they don't want to work because we give them everything. My son, my oldest, I had two sets of children. My oldest son, he in his 30s, almost 40, and he was 15, 14, because Progress was hiring at 14 at the time. And he gonna come in the house. Michael Jordan was real popular then. Come in the house, musty, dirty, been over there on the corner playing basketball, talking about he wants some Michael Jordan. So I say, okay,
Yeah, he
when you
wants
get
some
out of
them
school,
J's. I love that song. Stepped on my J's.
yeah. I told him, I said, when you get out of school tomorrow, instead of going over there to play basketball, go take a bath, come in the house, take a bath, and get dressed. We fit to go get them Jordans, right? And
Yep.
I took him to Kroger's and he got a job. Lady at Kroger's hiring. I said he need a job because he needs some Jordans. So when he got the little job and was working, he was only working part-time, went for 14. And so I said, you got your check? Mom, that check went about nothing. I said, but what about them Jordans? Oh, I ain't got no money for them Jordans. I said, but see, I pay all the bills here, everything, but I'm supposed to have money for some Jordans, and you go to work and you don't have no bills to pay. You can't afford them. My son have never asked or wore no Jordans. Never. Because I
Well,
didn't
I
know I
wanted I
could.
wanted some number nines, and I hunted and hunted. I even went to Jordan's website. They don't
Mm-hmm.
make they don't make those in women's in my size because I got a big foot. I wear size 10. They had them in a 6 and a 7, all those little tiny petite sizes,
Yeah.
but nothing with for somebody with a big hoof like I got, right? So I never
Right.
got no I never did get my Jordans that I always wanted because they don't make them in my size.
But my son didn't get his because he had the bomb. I Stella, I'm over here trying to make sure you got light, gas, water, or ride to all these activities you involved in. And I got to pay. Don't forget you don't have to pay for this stuff.
Yep.
And you want me to buy some Jordans, you better go get a job. Shoot, my son tell everybody that story. He say, nope, I don't wear Jordans. I can't afford them.
Yeah,
I
my
couldn't
kids
afford
like
them
the
living with my
they
mom.
didn't like Jordans, I guess. They always wanted the Nikes, the high dollar Nikes.
Well, I never put my children in expensive shoes and clothes and stuff. I did with my oldest son. I'm not gonna lie, my oldest son I did because he was my first.
Well,
I was young. He was cute. I dressed him
hey,
up. His daddy
AC,
had
how
the
you
money.
doing?
I dressed him up. But after that, that's a true story. After the first one, the second and third one don't matter. But
Well,
buy some.
The only reason I made sure my kids had nice clothing and shoes was because I didn't want them being made fun of at the school when they went to school, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Oh
because,
no,
like
they
I said,
always want nice
when you
shoes
live,
and stuff.
especially when you live in Texas and you're around all these people that have money, right? You know, we weren't rich. I had a store, you know, we struggling just like everybody else. But so but I made sure my kids had nice things to wear.
Oh yeah, yeah. But no, when I say no, we didn't go to Nike and buy no shoes. We went to Nike outlet. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, yeah.
No, no, we didn't go to
That's
we
what
didn't
I
go to
did.
Nike Mall. We went to Nike outlet. So when I say my children, when I say like that, I don't mean they won't trashy stuff. I mean
Yeah,
they didn't. I didn't go like. I didn't go stand in no line for 3 days to get a pair of tennis shoes. We're gonna go to the outlet store and see what they got on special.
that's what I did. That's when I like when I wanted a pair of those UGG boots, and
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, and I still had to pay $220 for them, even at the outlet. But
I got some
I
boots.
got my UGG boots.
I got some boots. I still got them. They probably look. They probably the dry rotted. Shh. But I got some
Man,
boots.
I had to dye mine. Listen to this. The whole bottom fell off one time, and I had to get some of that Gorilla Glue and glue the
Uh-huh.
bottoms back on them. I've had to re-dye them because they fade out and stain out and look bad. But I kept them, and they look good forever.
Yeah, I
They,
tell you, I
they
still
got.
have mine. You're gonna make me dig them out the closet now.
I don't have mine no more because mine were stolen when I went to jail. When they stripped my van, I had them with me. I was taking them with me when I was traveling, and they were in my van. I had my van loaded down because I was fixing to go out to California. And
Why? Yeah,
yeah,
why I found me a pair
they
of
stole my van, and they stripped everything in it that was in it. They took everything. I had nothing. I come out of jail, I had nothing. I'm not kidding.
I believe you.
I didn't even have a pair of underwear. I had nothing.
Yeah, to me, when you start like that, it makes you appreciate it more because
Well,
everything that you got, you
I'm just now
appreciate.
getting back up on
Mhm.
level ground. It's taken me.
Mhm.
It's been almost 3 years now, and I'm just now getting just barely getting back up on level ground to where I got enough clothes, I got enough shoes, except for
Right.
summer stuff. I am gonna have to buy some shorts and stuff when spring gets here. But
Well, shoot, you can get some of them anywhere. A pair of shorts. You know, that's an easy fix. Some shorts.
I go to
But
Walmart. I'll hit the clearance racks.
I go to Target. I don't like Walmart clothes. Walmart clothes, they just too shabby. I like the go to the clothes at Target. It's a better quality.
Well, they took our mall out. We don't have a mall there anymore. I used to buy a lot
Yeah.
of the stuff at the mall, the little shops in the malls and stuff.
Hmm.
I guess because of the drug dealers hanging in the parking lots, I really don't know what closed it out. But that was
No,
they got
nobody go to malls no more.
no, they don't go to malls. Everybody shops online, and well, they just slowly was take everything was just getting took out because of the drugs, I think. Because like
Yeah.
the skating rink, you couldn't even go down and drop your kids off, let them skate for a couple of hours while you went and did your grocery shopping and come back. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
there'd always be druggies out in the parking lot trying to sell them drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
So after a while, it got to where there was nothing for kids to do. You know.
We have
Except for
it
except
well,
for except for to
yeah.
get out and get in trouble. That's what they do nowadays because there's
That's
nothing for
or,
children
or,
to do.
or
They
play
got
on the damn TV or sit in front of the TV.
there's nothing for them. They don't got no parks, no public swimming pools, no skateboard parks, bicycle, stuff like that where you ride bicycles
Hmm.
and skateboards and all that. They got
Yeah.
nothing for kids to do anymore. Not a thing.
Well, what, Estella, I'm not trying to be mean or nothing, but we didn't have none of them places either. We skated on the street, we played ball, we did it all in the streets. These children, they don't want to go out the house. If children go out the house, trust me, they'll find something to do. They
Yeah,
won't find nothing to do
because
in
in
the
the
house.
summertime, when it's 100 and 110 degrees outside, they can sit there in front of that air conditioning and play on that iPad or iPhone
Yeah.
or whatever it is they
And
got.
then by the time it cooled down,
Yeah,
it's nighttime.
So even if you took their device away from them, you better shut that air conditioning off too if you want to try to get them out of the house. They ain't gonna budge. I'm gonna tell you, they will not budge.
I always had in the summer. I always had a summer artillery for my children. You know, we always went on some type of family vacation.
We did that
They were
too every year.
enrolled.
I
You know,
got a
they were
vacation from
enrolled in
my
the
work.
YMCA. You know, I would enroll them in the YMCA. They were in
Mm-hmm.
football, cheerleader, basketball, hockey. So they always had somewhere to go, something to do outside. You not
Well,
sitting up
they
in
even
here.
they even took our YMCA out that we had there for the kids. That's gone too. Matter of fact, they used
Mm,
to hand the commodities out in that building. When they did the commodities once every 3 months or whenever they did them for handing out the
right.
government food, they used to do that right out of there. But they shut that down, and so then they had to move the commodities out to the churches and other people to distribute them because there was no more place for the government to give their commodities out. There was no more place for the kids to go play basketball and have fun. And like I said, they
Mhm.
they just slowly have depleted it. They've
But that's
taken
the
everything away from the children.
but
There's
that was
nothing for them
their
to do.
but Stella, that's always been their goal. They really don't want to educate your children. And really, the way they got school set up right now, I wouldn't want my children educated. I got lucky. My children went to charter school. I got really lucky. My
Well,
my
I
youngest
wanted I
son,
wanted to homeschool my kids. Back then, it was a rigmarole to try to get to homeschool your
yes.
children, and they
Yeah,
wouldn't
well,
let
because the
me.
government wanted that money. But
That's
see, the
right.
government don't want the money anymore because it's too much. You got if you go on the school campus right now, you got at least 5 pedophiles working on that campus with those children. And before the end of the school year, 4 of them going to be exposed, and the other one going to quit because he don't want to be exposed. You know, the kids got too much more they're dealing with now. Then when we went to school, we deal with one thing: sit your butt down and read, write, and arithmetic.
Arithmetic. Yep. The
That was
three
all we
R's.
did:
The three R's.
read, writing, and arithmetic.
You
That
ask
was it.
you ask these
But
people
now
nowadays,
they're
these
worrying
younger
about what.
people. Ask them if what they know what the three R's are. Most of them have no idea.
They don't even write in cursive no more. I had to teach my children myself how to write in cursive. Now my oldest, they were still writing in cursive when he was in school. But the
I get
youngest
I
ones,
get
I had to
tickled.
teach them.
I got this little great grandbaby. His name's Easton, right? So his name starts with a E. So every
Mhm.
time he sees a box or a package or anything, he'll go find the E on there. He goes, "That's my name right there." He'll find that E. That's my name right there. I said, "It sure is." I said, "How'd you get your name on that box?" And
Yeah,
he just
yeah, right.
smile at me and google his little shoulders, and go
Yeah.
on play and do something else. But I just
But
think
if
it's
I
cute.
if
I think
if
it's
I
cute
had
that he
some
does that.
children, well, with my age, and if I had some children now, which I can't, thank you for that blessing, But if I could have some children, I would send them to no public school.
No,
I would
I
never
would
send my
definitely
children to a public
homeschool
school. And I tell anybody, I would if well nowadays, like my neighbor, she before she people didn't want to pay her, but she used to homeschool people children for them, but they didn't want
Oh,
to
now
pay
see,
her.
that's a good idea. Yeah.
But they didn't want to pay her. They didn't want to pay her. And she was good. She was really, really good with those children. And she was doing like from 2 years old to 12. That's all the way up to middle school. She was homeschooling, and people didn't want to pay her. She had fist
Well,
fights out in the front yard and
like,
everything
remember
trying to
I
get
told
her
you I drove
money.
the bus for the Head Start? But
Hmm.
every day I ended up with three or four extra children that I had to take home with me because I would take them to their house and they wouldn't be a parent one there. Nobody there to get them. Knowing exactly what time they get there every day, right?
Yeah.
And so after dark sometime I'd finally be able to contact the parents, and then I'd have to go drive the children and take them home in the middle of the night now.
And they've never worried about where their child is.
No, they know. Oh well, she's got them. We trust her. She's all good. But I had
But
my
you got a
own. I
life.
had my own children. No, I just had my own
Yes,
children. I had to take care of and do all that.
you had a
So every day,
life.
So all my life, I got used to having all these extra children, right? Plus mine,
Yeah.
you know. And
But I don't know. But I'm
then,
I'm
then,
telling you.
then when you get, you're used to having 500 children. That's why I like being around here. I got all these great grandbabies, because
Right.
all my kids are grown. They got kids. Their kids is having kids, and you know, it's the circle of life.
Right, right.
But
But
I
I'm
enjoy
telling you,
being here with the babies.
but and because see, I come from a family where from the time you start having a baby, we start teaching them, you know, their name, their letters, their different
Right.
face, your eyes, your nose, your ears, that's
That's
mama,
what
but
yeah,
that's
that's what these are
also,
learning
you
now.
know,
They drive me
so
crazy. They'll point at my nose. What's that? What's that? What's that? And they
but
point at my eyebrow. What's that? Point at my eyeball. What's that? They're always asking me, what's that? What's
mhm,
that? What's that? They know what it is.
right, right. But still, don't you know it's children right now start 4-year-old programs and don't know none of that stuff.
Well, yeah, because they don't have nobody that works with them at
The
home.
ABC, when before my children left home, they were was writing their names. They knew their ABCs. They was writing them. They knew one plus one was two. They knew the whole address. They knew my name because we all had the same last name. So we just, concentrated on the first name. They knew my first name. They knew exactly where I worked at. And they was 4 years old starting school.
Yeah, my
So when
youngest
you,
daughter, she was
but the
she
other
started. She was in
kids,
Head
but you
Start when she was
had,
2.
that's what I'm saying. But that's when they started the school, the public school
Regular
system.
school. Mm-hmm.
But when they kids was in that same classroom, they
Good
was
morning,
using my
Harry Nuts.
daughter to teach the other children. She's not there to teach them. I had them move my daughter up to the next grade. She's not no teacher. You're not going to do that to my child. You're not going to pay somebody to teach these children and use my child as a teacher. She's not a teacher. She's here to learn. And they moved her to the next grade of it because no, we're not gonna do that. No, and see that's what a lot of parents do. They're sending their child to school, and their child have a learning disability. They ignore it. If they a little extra push than other children, they'll ignore that. No,
Harry
no.
Nuts says, "Hi, Miss B."
Oh, hi Harry. That's my friend, Mr. Harry.
Yes, I love Harry Nuts.
Yeah, he make good videos. He cooks too.
Oh, ooh, ain't nothing better than a man that can cook.
Oh, he be cooking all kind of stuff: oysters, shrimp, fish. Ooh,
Mm. Harry Nuts must be in the South.
nah, he cooks good. Oh, it be looking so good. Then they'll show you a picture of him. Then you say, "Give me some." He say, "Come get it."
I love seafood.
Yeah.
Seafood and
Well,
I was raised on grits and seafood.
oh Lord, yes, yes. I like. We can't find yellow grits down here anymore.
Well, you're not gonna believe this, but I got a can of those in my commodities. Not it was a while back. Last time, whenever it was, I got commodities last time, and I had never my entire life ate yellow grits until I got those. But those were actually really good.
I love yellow grits.
Yeah.
We can't find them. They used to sell them down here, but you can't find them anymore. You can only find white grits, and you only can find like
So
HEB
the government's
brand.
giving the yellow grits away in the commodity things now.
Oh, so they quit selling them then. I'm
Probably
gonna look.
that's probably why they quit selling them. But
I'm gonna look online
that's
to
how I
see if I
got
can
mine
find
though, was in commodities.
Oh man, them big old thick. That was some big old thick grits. Ooh, that's about the only thing my
Oh,
daddy would let somebody give my
excuse me,
mama
Miss
some yellow
B.
grits. Mhm.
I gotta let my girl up here. Hang on, I've been worried about her all night.
Oh, that's Nikki.
Yes, I've been worried about my girl. There she is.
Sorry, I got messed. I fell asleep. I went and crawled in the bed. I was going to call you. I got my joint. I was watching Evan. Next thing I know, it's the next morning. I'm like, what the fuck
I
happened?
I had I told him I thought maybe you might have fell asleep.
Well, he's
You know,
got to
'cause
be doing those late night streams. You know, us old folk, I go to bed early with the chickens. I'm like,
me
what
too.
the fuck?
Yeah, well, Evan was in here earlier, and I told him, I said, "Well, I've been worried about Nikki all night because she was going to call, but then she didn't call, And then
I didn't even chat
didn't
last
see her.
night. I fell asleep. I slept through Vin's interview, all of it.
Damn, 7.14. Harry Nuts says their gas in Southern California is 7.14 a gallon now.
Golly.
That used to be
Whoa.
the number on Quaaludes. I'll take a gallon.
Good morning, Nikki. How you doing?
Hey, Miss B, how are you this morning?
Up here, I'm just keeping Stella company. She was up there bored by herself.
You're a doll.
Yes, I come to keep her company for
Well,
a few
I've been up and
minutes.
down all night because I've been flip-flopping and stream jumping and just catching a little bit. I turn on the streams and then I go back to sleep listening to them, right?
Girl, did
But
you listen to Yukon? She's hard for me to listen to.
Oh, Lord, I was about to say the same thing.
But that
Yeah,
bitch is
well-
crazy on a bicycle. She's like, Nikki left YouTube because she was so vile and hateful, and people ran her off, and it's happening again. And I'm like, bitch, I left YouTube because I wanted to. Nobody's run me off YouTube. It's a fucking social media platform. How you gonna run me off?
It's an on-off button.
Miss
It's an
B,
on-off button, right? Don't you have an on-off button? You cut it on when you want
to. Isn't it crazy? Like, I'll go hang out with Miss B. I don't care about you fuckers.
Oh, they don't like me over here.
Oh, it's me they don't like, honey, not you.
No, it's me too. No, trust me, it's me too.
Oh, good. It's the Bad Girls Club.
Yeah, it's me too. Well, you know, I have zero tolerance for ignorance, and I have zero tolerance for people that repeat themselves. Because when you repeat yourself, you're trying to sell me something. Because if I say something about you, I'm gonna say it about you, and I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Because trust me, I got more than one thing to say about you. But if I only have one thing to say about you, then I'm just picking.
I'm the same. And I don't eat grits. I don't like them. I don't like the texture. I've never tasted any that were any good. I don't like a grit. I'm not a grit.
Well, you know what's funny, Nikki, is grits ain't nothing but ground up hominy and corn, right?
Yeah, I don't like the texture.
But I cannot stand hominy.
Yeah. My dad bought some of that malted meal. Remember that stuff? And he's like,
I don't like malted meal.
Yeah, my dad's like, oh, we'll have this. We'll love it. I took one bite and I looked like I did when I was like 5. My dad looks at me and he goes, don't you spit that out. It was like, you know, when you're a little kid and you taste something and you don't like it and you spit it out on your plate. And my dad looked at me dead in the face. He goes, don't you spit that out.
My honey, Mike Withers.
Yay, honey, honey. You know, tomorrow's that hoe's birthday.
Oh my God.
Miss Honey tomorrow is her birthday. So on my live stream, I'm going to be doing This Is Your Life for Honey Honey.
Oh, okay. Oh. Yeah, because I'll send her a little something.
I sent her some dick. That's all she wants.
Okay, well, we'll send her a couple of them then.
Yeah, she just wants to get laid. Small. So
hey, we'll send her 2 because they're small.
Nikki crazy.
I sent her some to clean the fucking cobwebs out, man. No short dick guy on her birthday. Clean all her plumbing out. Canadian Mounted Police, and talk about mounted. He didn't get that name casually.
Honey's so funny. She just cracks me up.
Funny.
She's my emotional support Canadian. I got it at the beginning of the pandemic, and I'm not giving it back.
A big old wiener would be nice.
See, I know.
You got it for the pandemic.
I know.
Okay, Harry. You have a good day, sweetie.
She like,
thank you for coming by.
Bye, Harry Nuts.
Love you, Harry Nuts.
I always tell him. That's what I tell him. I love me some Harry Nuts.
Nuts need love too. Keep those suckers warm. Oh, but yeah, I missed the big. And I don't know what's going on over at Jesse's, but it seems like a haven for morons and misfits over there. So somebody said, oh, you got to go listen to Yukon. It's fucking hilarious. So I went and listened, and she said that she's Miss B, I don't know if you know her, but she's a Canadian And we love our Canadians, but Yukon hates America. So she said she had no respect for the president. She respected the desk that he sits behind. And I think she said the chair. So she respects the desk and the chair of the president, but not and the office itself, but not the person who's there, no matter who it is. I guess. And I'm like, well, first of all, we didn't elect a desk or a chair.
Amen.
And second of all, that's why you're in Canada, is because you're a fucking
She's my
traitor.
personal leg humper, Ms. B. It don't matter. Listen, if I go in a chat and she's in there, she will sit there and comment on everything I say. If I'm on the panel or in the chat, everything. She hooks my legs like a
to all other conversations going on.
And then tells everybody how I'm stalking and harassing her. And 99.9% of the time, I don't even respond to her. I don't even reply to her.
I think it's old Stella. I think it's froze what little piece of brain she had. I mean, she said that Junie Pie was a drunk, and if she wanted to watch people get drunk, she could get in her truck, go to town, and sit in the car and watch them get drunk and sleep on the streets. I'm like, what kind of fucking weirdo does shit like that? You go to town, you watch people get drunk, and then when they pass out on the street, you go home. You've had a full day here. I mean.
And then she got mad at me, Miss B, because see, she just recently turned 70. So it's a big deal for her about the way I look and the way I act. And she's always grumping on me because she says, you just don't need to be acting like you're 27 years old. You're not 27 years. She gets mad because I just don't look old and haggard like her. So she had a birthday, right, when she turned 70. And I kept telling her happy 100th birthday.
And she nearly burnt down the house. That in.
And she nearly burnt down the house with her old ass. It's like, bitch, you need to stop.
I remember when you was typing in what happy 100th birthday to somebody.
that was her.
Honey's gonna pass on the hairy nuts, but she'll take a big old wiener. But yeah, that Yukon Stella, no wonder you've always fought with her. She's a fucking idiot.
Well, because she won't stay off my leg. I'm not kidding. She's like a freaking tick.
Well, I was
more like a leech.
Use some baby oil. I told you the other day about shaving your legs. Did I not? Now, if you moisturize after you shave your legs, these fucking people would be able to hang on to your leg and hump you like a crazy person.
But I don't get hair on my legs. I'm like,
that's why these bitches are humping your leg. You ain't used enough moisturizer on your leg.
Oh, well,
you can't be ashy and you can't be dry, right, Miss B?
Okay, that's the problem then.
Moisturize.
That's right.
Yeah, I need to use more moisturizer or something.
Yes, moisturize. At our age, we have to moisturize. And that's the only way to keep these leg humpers off.
But that's why, did you see the title of my stream? If you can't beat them, join them. That's what Jesco's doing, right? Because he can't beat them, so he's joined his team because he can't win any other way. So
all this is a new thing, just like Father of Two and the other ones. All this is a new person for Jose, Sam, and now Yukon, because she's become extremely active since Whacked Out Live fucked them in the neck. But she's always on a panel somewhere, and she has, God, and I feel sorry for her husband, but thank God she's on YouTube and not fucking with him that whole time. I mean, I guess that's our burden. We'll relieve some of the.
She can't remember nothing, and she's always sitting there asking him what stuff is because she can't remember. I think she's getting she's getting some dementia or something, because I hear her husband, she'll be sitting there talking on a live stream, but she have to ask her husband, what's that called? What's that? And he's like her memory bank. I don't know what she'd do without him, to be honest.
Maybe what she do, that may be her way to make him part of the conversation.
I want to see him on live stream, and I want to say, dude, blink once if you need help.
Yeah.
You're being held hostage. Blink 3 times if Yukon never shuts the fuck up.
Yeah.
Wear a blue shirt if you need help from us. Let us know, bro. We got you. But I couldn't believe that when she's like, I don't respect the president, but I respect the desk and the chair. And I'm like, what? What kind of fucked up bullshit is that? Ain't nobody ever died for the chair and the desk. Ain't nobody went to war over it. Ain't nobody ever died. Ain't nobody been impeached. It's like, what the fuck are you talking? I guess they have different stuff there in Canada. I don't know. I'll have to talk to Honey. She's my Canadian expert.
Honey, you'll have to tell us, how's their desk there in Canada, honey?
Yeah, do y'all vote for the desk or the chair, or is it a mirror y'all put in office? How y'all do it up there in the frozen north? And then Sam saying, did you hear what Sam said about Willy Wonka? It was awesome. He said that Willy Wonka's account traces back to a dead 70-year-old guy.
Yay, Willy!
I'm
Willy
like, what?
Go, Willy!
So they've traced Willy back and he has a dead person. And I'm like, oh my God, Willy Wonka's dead? The chocolate factory will never be able to go on? Oh my gosh, that's horrible. But they
Willy
Wonka. But I'm like, I wonder if Sam knows that Willy Wonka is a fictional character, both online and off.
Yeah, he doesn't realize that, yeah, Willy Wonka has the best chocolate in the world.
Yeah.
Do you not remember which one of them? Hey, one of them serial killers worked in a chocolate factory.
What is it about chocolate, man?
I don't know, but I watch all these serial killer documentaries and stuff. I don't remember which one it was. He killed a lot of people, mostly younger boys. He didn't care what their race was or anything like that. He wasn't picky. He just liked young, good-looking men. But he worked at the chocolate factory, and then when he got off work, he would go out and pick his next little target, to kill and do whatever he did to. I don't remember what that freaking nut job's name was now.
Well, Jeffrey Dahmer killed a lot of little young guys, but I think he was a cannibal. He had them in his freezer.
Whichever, the one I'm talking about worked in a chocolate place where they made chocolate. They molded chocolate like Easter rabbits or whatever, molded chocolate. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, and then
he didn't work for Willy Wonka though. Not in that chocolate factory.
That chocolate factory. And then Yukon said that Mean Thing said that I have raked her skin off the bones with all this sharing I've been doing. And she started it. That's what I don't get. Why do they not acknowledge the fact that
she started it with me when she started going in and dragging my little 8-year-old granddaughter into her mix, using my granddaughter as a target.
Well, she sent me hundreds of texts about her, but I didn't include them. And there's a lot of things I didn't include because of the information that it pertained. So I wasn't going to bring your granddaughter, just like when I said like Sowers about Dempsey. I'd rather just leave kids completely out of it, And she, I don't want to see. Yeah, the kid thing really fucking triggers
me. Well, she was just trying to use that against me, that I had this home and I wouldn't give my granddaughter a home. And my granddaughter had her own room and her own toy room. She had everything in my home, plus her own home, plus her babysitter home where she went during the day, when her mom was at work. And
yeah, she told all of us that she lived in a car.
Well, I know she did. You know why she told that? Because she was sitting there asking my granddaughter. She was just questioning her. Just kept asking her stupid questions. And she got to the one and she was asking her, where do you live? And my granddaughter said, I live in the car, because they're always going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times she's in the car.
My mom said something, my grandma said something, and my mom said something. And I said, my mom keeps a booger man in the closet. Because my mom would say, if you don't behave, the booger man
the booger man's going to get you. Right.
And I'm like, well, where is he? And my mom's like, well, he's in the closet.
She just took it and turned it into something that it wasn't.
Well, my grandmother
Miss
told
Betty.
my stepdad that my mom had a man in the closet.
Um,
So that I see how when kids say something innocently, grown-ups take it and twist it around. So that was my point, that people take something very innocent that a kid says. So
right,
she said she took something that your granddaughter said just out of frustration and silliness. I live in the
right.
car, and
Yeah.
turned it into she's homeless, she's abused, she lives in the car. Because I have those text messages.
She was
I just
always
didn't
wanting me to go
publish
take her in the riding bed. She calls
them.
that bed in my van the riding bed, okay? And she told me one day, she says, Nana, she says, I think if you'd take me for a ride in the riding bed, she says, I'd probably go right to sleep. She was always coming with something. She called it the riding bed. My bed, my van's a riding bed. But
Well,
she
that's
loves
a good description of it. But Anne was saying that my receipts didn't have names, they didn't have timestamps. She wanted the provider's name. I'm like, bitch, it's Discord. Are you retarded? You're in Discord. You got to recognize it. I mean, it's fucking Discord. And then the screenshots that she sent me was from her fucking phone. I can't verify her shit for you. I'm sorry. And then Anne said that, first she said she wouldn't believe any kind of receipts I produced.
and text. That's the way text comes up.
Yeah. Well, they both said they wouldn't accept any receipts that I produced. I'm like, okay, I didn't make any of these for you. Don't give a fuck if you believe it or not. And then they turn around and say, well, you have to have the provider, the timestamp. And then they say, well, she's raking poor green thing over the coals and taking her skin from the bone. Well, here's a news flash. I'm not done sharing. I still have more videos to make and more text messages to reveal. So
I
don't
haven't even
do
had
like
time to go through
shit.
mine. I got a shitload.
Well, I have other people that would love to share. So I may be sharing other text messages between Green Thing and other people in the community.
I'll
So
have to look see what I got. I know I got a ton of emails.
I never emailed her. Never.
She was always emailing me. Well, the problem is you couldn't stay on the phone with her because she was always recording and doing so many things on 3 or 4 different devices at the same time that our calls would just kick off constantly. There was always, I bet you, we didn't have a phone conversation that she didn't have to call me back or whatever, at least maybe a minimum of 5 times minimum. Okay. That's minimum. Sometimes it'd be 10 or 12 times.
Frustrating.
No, very.
You lose your train of thought and it's like, what the fuck? Yeah, I didn't talk to her that much on the phone. I'm not much of a phone person. There's only like 2 people in my life, 3 people in my life that I actually talk verbally on the phone with. You're one of them.
I was going to say, don't leave me out. But my problem is I just don't have time for texting. And when I've got something big I need to tell you, which I still want to tell you something in private later, that don't have nothing to do with none of these people. But it does now. Because now Sam has involved himself into it now.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, he's always involved in something, so.
Right.
But yeah, we'll talk about it later, no problem.
Yeah. On that.
But so Anne's like saying how horrible what I'm doing to Green Thing. And I'm like, well, which is it? Either you believe my receipts or you don't. If you don't believe them, then it shouldn't have any effect on her whatsoever. 0. If you don't believe what I'm showing you and you don't believe
that that 74-page report about Green Thing.
That's my next point. My next set of videos after I get done sharing my texts and doing all of that stuff is I'm going to be pulling out stuff from the 75-page document. And just to satisfy people, I'll put the page number that I take it from.
Well, if you could get that where she was on the panel that day when she was lying about all the stuff that report says. And then
I have the text messages, what she said to all of us when it first.
Yeah, what I'm saying is,
the documents.
If you could, like play just a little clip of her saying, I
Yeah,
didn't
her
hurt that
story.
child. Okay.
Yeah.
And then go back to that report and pull up the stuff where 5, 6 witnesses says she did hurt that child. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I've read it. I know. I got clips of her telling her version of the story 3 different ways. So
Her
I have
version
3
doesn't matter.
different
We've
clips
seen
of her.
we've seen the final report, just like we did on Dibble. We seen the final report. That's why I put that out there so they could see the final report. That don't take my word for it. I'm a liar. Okay, I'm the biggest liar on YouTube. Do not take my word for it. Read the report. But no, none of them would go read it because they didn't want to see
I
what was
didn't.
actually there.
I'm
Nobody
guilty.
did. Well,
I'm
no, nobody
guilty.
did. It wasn't just you. Nobody wanted to see it. Nobody wanted to
Yeah, but
believe
you
it.
know me, Stella. I'll own it. It was me. I mean, I'm one
I
of
know.
those
You're
people.
like me. You own your shit. If I do something, I own it. It's mine. I've got my
No,
name
because
on it.
the thing was, is when I was a kid, if I did something, if I was honest about it, I got in less trouble than if I lied and they had to drag it out of me.
Oh
So
yeah, because if you
I've
lie,
always been that
you would
way. I
get that
just
ass
always
tore
told
up
the
a
truth.
lot harder if you
Yeah.
lie. Yeah.
So I've always been that way. If you catch me, if you ask me a direct question, did you do blah, blah, blah? I will be honest.
Yeah. Exactly. Because like I said, back in my days, you didn't lie. We weren't raised to be racist. We weren't, we were just we were raised, we're a different kind of group. You know what I'm saying?
They sent Dibble to jail.
Yeah, he was already in jail. Are they
No,
sending
they're
him?
keeping him though.
They're going to keep him because I went back and looked at that thing. I couldn't see nothing. I can't tell nothing by that. What I looked up.
Well, what I'm looking at, the link and stuff, remember I sent you with the
Yeah,
case
that's what I
number?
went and looked.
Okay. So I'm looking at, and it says jail credits probation department. So he's going to jail.
Well, I was just wondering if they were going to ship him to a prison.
Yeah, they're going to
Or-
send, that's what that means. Jail credits. They're going to send his ass to prison. I guarantee.
So evidently, I'm just wondering, what did they catch him doing something when they finally? Because see that
I
warrant.
think he moved. I
That
don't think he
warrant
was
was
in
issued
Ireland.
Valentine's Day.
Right. I
But
don't.
they didn't arrest him for a couple of weeks.
Right. So what happened was he filed an appeal. They sent him some paperwork about it.
There's
And
Beckers.
it didn't go to him. So they started investigating. They figured out that he wasn't at the address he had provided for the court, which I'm assuming was in Nyland. And
Right.
he was in a
Yeah,
different court.
that was because he was working. He was working for a man in Ireland, and he lived there where he was working for that man at. But then he moved. When he got his stuff back, he moved it all. I don't know. I don't even know how he got the property, but out there where Jose went.
Yep. Good morning, Becker.
And I actually don't know where that was, but Jose mentioned not San Diego, no, San Francisco. One of them, San Francisco's or San Diego's one. So I'm going to assume, yeah, he was like he was not at the address he listed.
No, it was a different place there in California. So
Right.
I'm betting that.
And I'm talking, this is after he moved out of that motel. Okay.
Yeah.
He moved. He got a job working for somebody,
and
he lived there for a little while. I know a lot. I just don't spit it out there. You know what I'm saying?
I talk to people that are there, and
yeah,
they never ran into him. And you cannot live in Nyland and not run into just about everybody.
At least at the Walmart or somewhere,
or Maze, or before the post office burnt down, at the post office.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's only the Dollar, the Family Dollar. There's only a few businesses in that area. So I would run into people from the slabs all the time because it's small. So nobody has seen Mike in Nyland. Nobody has run across him or nothing. So that was the first clue that he wasn't living.
I'm just wondering if they ran across any of that child pornography, if they took his phone or any of that and actually checked, because see, evidently they still don't know where he lived or where he was living. Just because they put him in jail, that means they still did not even know where he was at, right?
Yes, exactly. But from the way that the document looks, he got jail credit. So that means usually when they give you credit for time in jail, that means
Uh-huh.
you still got more or something like that. So I would assume they're sending him to prison to do the 6 years, and they're giving him credit for what he's already
Time
done there.
served and yeah, all
The
that.
2 years, and then whatever they've had him since what, February?
Yeah, well, no, actually it was like March because it was like I said, that warrant, I went back through that and I
Oh,
looked,
yeah, March,
the
yeah.
warrant was issued on Valentine's Day, but they didn't pick him up for 2 weeks later.
Right. So, yep, fucker. But I hope he goes. I hope he goes
See,
to
y'all,
prison.
Nikki and I do our homework. We get our receipts.
It don't matter. We don't have the provider.
I know, and yeah, or the name. It was okay though when Tally was shooting
gotta
out
have
them
the
fake
IP.
emails that
Yeah.
didn't even have my name on it, pretending to be Google,
Yeah,
telling
exactly.
me that telling me that I was getting, my channel was getting struck. Tally sent that. I
Well,
didn't have
I
no
went back and
strike.
looked at my email, and every email that I have has my fucking name on there from them.
Every one I get says "Dear Stella" right on it. That's how they address it to me when I get an email about going to get a strike or whatever, a timeout, whatever they give you.
Right. Yeah.
It always says "Dear Stella" on there, and it said "Dear" and there was no name. Whoever's name that it must have been something he received, and he white outed his name
Yeah,
off
I
of it.
sent him a copyright strike. So yeah.
Yeah. And so that's why I knew it was fake, because it didn't have my name on there. And then once I put it together and I remembered the fake thing he sent, I think he did that one that went to Tracy too. The fake one that came from Amazon to Tracy. I think he did that one.
Oh yeah. Well, somebody probably did it for him. I have
And then everybody else said, "Oh yeah, she's opened her an account on Amazon in your name. Yep. Oh, she's got
Oh
her
yeah, they
couple
were
of
running hard with that one, weren't they?
Yeah, but it was all jived up. It was all cooked up, and it was all fake. And they was using Tracy for their damn patsy. That's why I couldn't be mad at her over that. After I figured out what was going on with it, no more than I could be mad at you when I figured out it was Jose setting you up. When I know good and well he's the one that called the police and had me swatted sitting there right there in my own house. But
Yeah.
I knew he came there to troll me in real life. I already knew that. It's just like I said, everything was kind of happening fast that day, and then that your clone showed up in the chat. It said the cops are on their way, and no more than they typed. Here they came, and somebody timed out the clone or whatever, so it disappeared out of my chat. See, so I couldn't get a record of it or anything, even to even try to go back and do something with it, because they time them out or got blocked it, got rid of it, whatever it was. But there come the police. And then Jose was inside the house. Okay. I was outside live streaming. He was inside in his room. He come running out there, pushing his way through, trying to get through to the cop. And the cop just stuck his hand out, told him step back. Jose's trying to give him his ID. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it. I watched
But
it.
I think the cop realized when they recognized Jose's voice that they realized that was the voice on the 911 call.
They knew right away who he was. That's why they're like, yeah, we don't need your ID.
Yeah, exactly. They already figured it all out.
Yeah. They were. So I knew.
They figured it out before I did. But I didn't hear the 911 call either. All they told me was the 911 call came in from a female. And then once they heard Jose's female voice,
yeah.
he didn't come out there using his man voice. He should have run out and used his man voice.
That's hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. Jose he's a to me, I think Jose and Sam are completely different in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, they're the same. Like I heard Sam say, "Oh, I can't get a place to live because I don't have the money." That's not true. Sam can't rent a place because he's a fucking criminal. Who in the hell is going to rent a place to Sam? Think about it. Just think about it. It's not that he can't afford it. It's not that he chooses it. He has no choice. He's a criminal. And 40
for all those who need them.
40 Staples. Wow. I heard about that too. That was
Well, you
hilarious.
know why Jose doesn't want to rent his own place? Because he would have to clean it. And he likes to
He
throw
would have
his
to have
trash
a
down.
job. Stella,
Yeah.
he would have to get a job. He doesn't want a job. Neither one of those two.
Well,
Sam
because we know he don't want to, because it's not that he don't want to. He knows they'll cut his check if he works.
But
Because
even if Sam could get a job with his extensive criminal history, think about that. What employer would hire Sam? We all know Sam's, extensive criminal history. He's on probation right now. So what employer, what apartment complex is going to, take a chance on these guys? And that's what it is. It's not that this is their choice. It's that this is all they got left. That's how Sam ended up in Slab City, because that's where you go. And the reason he didn't make it is because he's even more fucked up than the fucked up people out there.
and that's saying a lot.
Well, he had it made at the hostel. He really did. I mean, I never got that. He had a great gig there. He really did. I mean, he had a place to live. He had conveniences. He had air conditioning, I think, was out there at the hostel. So all he had to do was look after the guest in the summertime.
Yeah, but that was too much like work.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And these guys don't want to work. They just want people to give them money, like Jose wanting a bicycle. This guy why didn't he keep the BioLite? He could have traded a BioLite for a bicycle, but he didn't want to carry it. So how's he going to take the dog on a bicycle? How's he going to take the 10-year-old fucking dog on a bicycle?
And did I not tell you that freaking that Panama kid was one of his relatives?
Yes, you did.
I told you I know I could spot it because he's got the same boobs as Jose.
Yep.
He's got the same slack jaw. And I'm telling you, so did that other dude, that freaking Justin that was going by Chris or telling everybody whatever kind of name he was telling them. Jose gets his family to come in there and fuck with people. Okay.
Oh, by the way, Jose's not at Cliff's.
I knew that.
Or Cliff is denying it hard.
No, he's not. He's not at Cliff's because, like I said, he's at Tiffany Tillman's is where he's at.
Right. Yep. Yep. I hope he stays there just a few more days longer.
But you know what I couldn't figure out about this Tiffany Tillman? Well, I went and looked up the Tiffany Tillmans on YouTube, and there's probably, I don't know, maybe 10 of them at the most. But not one of them had anything in there about their dead sister's funeral, passing away, none of that. Only Jose.
You mean for the Go Fraud Me?
I'm just saying. Yeah. So they've got this, and they've had their the one I found. You could tell it was her because she looked just like the girl that died picture. You could tell they were sisters.
So the Tillmans are Jose's actual birth family, and the Sanders are his adopted family.
Yes.
Have we ever found out why he was adopted? I mean, did they all seem like they're pretty close.
I told everybody before, but nobody listened. I did a background check on his real dad, the one that died 3 times. And he was a Chester. No, he was a Chester. He'd been in and out of prison constantly. A matter of fact, I think that whole family had. I don't know what he did, or because I didn't look up his records, but I just saw his stuff,
Got it. But the Tillmans are his actual birth family.
Yes.
And I don't think the Tillmans and the Sanders are related.
Yeah, but according to Jose, they are. Because Jose says that his uncle is the one adopted him, his dad's brother.
Well, how do they have different last names?
Well, I want to know how can one be Mexican and the other family is African American?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. That must be a weird family tree, is all I'm saying. All right. So I
And
guess
then you've seen some of them, some of his family. They're not either one. They're not Mexican, and
yeah,
they're not
I know.
they're not
Not
African
any of
American.
it.
No, they're white as rice. I'm not kidding. Uh,
I know, Willie. I was talking about that earlier before you got in here, Hooker. I was telling Stella that Sam was telling people that you're a dead 70-year-old guy. And I was devastated to find out that Willy Wonka is actually dead. I thought he was still running the chocolate factory, him and the Oompa Loompas. I thought they lived happily.
yeah, Willie, you missed our hour-long conversation about Willy Wonka earlier. Now he's going to have
Oh,
to
he
go back
was
and
probably
rewatch my
just,
stream.
he was probably having his coffee and smoking a joint and just reveling in it in the spotlight. He loves it when they
Probably.
talk shit about him. It's his favorite thing in the world. Well, he's a narcissist, all of us are. So Willie is like king narcissist or the head narcissist in charge. I don't know. But yeah, he loves it when they talk shit about him. I mean, it makes his dick hard. I really think it does. It's just crazy. I know his nipples definitely get hard when they talk about him. Definitely.
I know Sam's he's a lunatic from hell, but he's back on his
Miss B, you ain't done with them dishes, girl. What are you doing?
No, you're not gonna believe this. Well, last night my daughter sent me out a big old plate of chicken and dumplings, and then my grandson came out bringing me a pot pie.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, "Well, honey, I'm going to be full after I eat all these dumplings." He said, "Well, just save it for breakfast." They know I save my shit for breakfast.
Absolutely. Oh,
Oh,
yeah. I used to love chicken and dumplings when I was a kid. My mama used to make them, from scratch. And when I got married, I wanted to make them for my husband. So I called my mama, I'd get the recipe from her, and bless her heart, she never wrote nothing down. So it's not like a cup or
no, it's a
dab,
this, and a dash of this, and splash of
or a
that.
handful or something.
Right,
So,
that's how we cook.
yeah, and I cook
That's
that way. I do. I really, I don't follow recipes. I just kind of see what the ingredients are, and then I just do it. But she would make her dumplings, and they were, oh my God, they were delicious.
That's what I did. I made my own biscuits.
Yeah. And so I wanted to make them for my new husband, and I was so excited and everything from scratch. And I made them, and it was like chicken dough. The dumplings did not come out right. I made them way too thin. It was gross. It was like chicken with just raw soup dough. I mean, ugh. And I cried, and I called her up, and I was like, Mama, I tried so hard, and I'm like, she's laughing. She's like, honey, you made them too thin, your dumplings. I'm like, how can you tell? She's like, just what you're telling me. So I made them I guess I waited a couple months. I made them again, and they were awesome. But every time I make chicken and dumplings now, I think about the first time I made
them. Well, that's how you learn to cook, though. You got to make mistakes and mess it up and try it again another day.
Like AJ last night, couldn't believe I don't have a microwave. And I'm like, I don't use them. I used to use them to like heat up butter, melt butter, or heat up syrup or something like that. But I can still do that on a stove. So I just couldn't, there was one here in the house when I moved in. And
Perry said,
I took care of it. Anna is his real dad's sister, and her husband is the African American he calls stepdad, I think. Oh, okay. Thank you, Perry. Hecker.
And her husband is Jerome.
Gotcha. And he died, correct?
No. Anna and Jerome are the
okay. All right.
Yeah, they're the adopted family.
God, it gets so confusing.
Well, it's because if he'd just tell the truth about stuff every once in a while instead of sending us out to make us hunt shit down.
Not tell it at all. I mean, I wouldn't get, you know what I'm saying? I mean, fuck. It's just hard to follow that shit, and every time, that's why everybody thinks he's a liar, because he changes the story all the time. It's like, oh my God, the only way I could keep up would be to write it down. And I'm not writing down Jose's stuff because I don't care about Jose.
I'll write nothing down.
But I don't think that Jose is dangerous. I think Sam is dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
I think Sam would physically hurt someone if he had the opportunity. I don't think that about Jose. I do not think that Jose would physically hurt anyone. I think
Actually, Perry, I think Anna honestly resembles fucking Green Thing. I'm not kidding. Did you not look? Have you not seen her picture?
well, maybe
She-
they're Cuban or something, I don't
They
know.
are. They are.
So that could be it as well, instead of Mexican or whatever we all
Yeah,
thought.
he tells everybody he's Mexican, although he can't speak Spanish, but they're Cuban. Yes, they are. That's it.
See, problem solved.
I figured that one out a while back.
But yeah, I told Green Thing, it's like I didn't understand why she started sharing our conversations with everybody. And I was like, I wouldn't be doing that if I was you. And then she made another video and I was like, oh, she
I
wants
can
to
I can tell you
play.
two people it's that she's doing this for, Bakers and Phil.
No, she picked a fight with me on her own.
Mm-hmm. But guess who's behind the scenes pushing it and instigating it?
Well, Phil is white knighting for her, and I get that because
Mhm.
they're sending each other naked pictures of each other. I get that,
I
and
can't wait till her naked pictures gets out there because she's gave him some.
and then Phil dumped Mean Thing for JoJo, and then Mean Thing went sideways, man. And then somehow, when JoJo was done with Phil and said, you're a fucking
He went back to Mean
weirdo,"
Thing.
he went back to her. Yeah. He
Mhm.
didn't talk to her for months and months and months. And he spilled all kinds of shit about him.
But she wasn't worried about him. She kept her eye on that Jay War, and she stalked that poor boy till he left YouTube.
Girl, what you doing?
He left YouTube. I'm serious. He was hiding from her.
Oh, you mean Phildo?
No, Jay.
Oh, Jay Warren. Yeah. I don't know what happened with him. And I know that
He disappeared. He disappeared back when she was stalking him. Because that was the first thing out of her mouth every day was, "Have you seen Jay? Have you seen Jay anywhere?"
Yeah.
Nope, I ain't seen him.
But she says people stalk her, and I think it's the other way around.
She does. She stalks people. I told you, she lied. She's already had those two men, and neither one of them probably did anything wrong. She had them arrested.
But that's what I'm saying. She probably cock teased them to death. You know what I'm saying? Send them naked pictures of her talking dirty shit back and forth. And then when they
live in her neighborhood. Both of those men she were talking about lived in her neighborhood. Both of them did. Right down the road from her.
And didn't one of them give her a bunch of vapes or something one time when she didn't have her medical card or something? And she's like, but he's a creep, but I'm getting my vapes out of him. So it sounded to me like she was using people. And then when they expected reciprocation on her part, then she screamed stalker.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's just the way I seen it. I could be wrong, but that's just how I seen it. Exactly, Wonka.
Well, we know Sam's not very bright.
Even though I produced receipts for Sam to show Sam because she went to Sam for Stella. So I showed Sam that she was in fact impersonating him and causing problems as him and reveling in it, and that she sent Jose's location to all of us. Everybody's like, oh, well, that doesn't prove anything. Okay. That's fine. I don't care. I'm just showing you.
She only went to Sam and Jose
is not who you think they are.
She can control them, and that's what she's all about. Control.
I believe fakers, Stella. I believe that fakers saw through her and cut off all communication with her. I don't believe that fakers.
I could believe it either. Fakers. I mean, honestly, she seemed more intelligent than that.
Fakers, when she talked to Green Thing when Fakers did that live stream and Green Thing went up there and lied her ass off and said, oh, I thought it was a clone. Maybe it was a clone that sent me that information about Rick Sanchez and you said that and blah, blah, blah. So she went up there and lied her fuck, and I don't think fakers bought it. I don't think that, just from listening to fakers and everything, and I've talked to fakers a lot. You know, at one time we talked quite a bit, and I don't believe that fakers and Green Thing have had a relationship. I believe what fakers is saying, and
But Green Thing just wanted to make it some big deal, like her and Fakers was besties or something to me.
I think Green Thing lied about it, Stella. I don't believe that Fakers was involved with. I think she was honest when she said she saw through Green Thing playing both sides, and she immediately backed off. Once Fakers got what she wanted from Green Thing, as far as Mike Dibble's case, Fakers backed away, and I 100% believe that.
Well, yeah.
do. I believe Green Thing made up all the other shit. I believe she tried to make it seem like her and Fakers were working together. I really do. That's just my opinion, my observation.
If you stare, wear your glasses, like all the rest of us do.
Is that PDF?
Where? I don't know.
That's me. That's me. That was me. I'm sorry.
Me? What are you doing?
No, that was me.
Was that PDF?
Yeah. He lied. No, he lied. He can't hear you.
No, but I'm saying, was that PDF? That was.
Oh yeah, that was him. He lied. He just went live.
I like.
Yeah, I just finished watching it. I do too.
I like PDF.
Well, you know what people don't like about him? He's straight from the mouth.
Yeah.
He's straight from the mouth. He don't cut no corners. He don't got no love for me, you, and nobody else.
Nope. And people don't like men that way. They don't like women that way,
But
so.
I'm gonna say he could take it, because I get on him all the time. Not all the time, but but he takes it. He just like he dish it, he take it.
You're not man enough to take him down, Sam. You better pack your fucking lunch if you're gonna go after him. Honestly.
Yeah.
He's not gonna play. That's what I was telling you earlier. Sam's going after PDF.
You better pack his fucking lunch.
No, Nikki. I need to eat some more popcorn and drink wine. No.
Girl, pop the corn. Let's go. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
That would be epic.
Yes, let's go.
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
I got a new popcorn popper, y'all. I can pop the popcorn. I got one of those hot air poppers.
Oh, good. That's a healthy kind, right? We got to stay healthy.
Yeah,
I'll be over here eating unhealthy, buttered up to the brim stuff.
And I like the kettle corn.
See, we'll have
the sweet stuff.
One of those variety buckets. It's got a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah, I can do that one too.
Yep.
Yeah.
You go, Sam. Go, Sammy, go. You go after PDF.
Oh, I sure hope, Stella.
Yes.
Charge up that doggone me generator, whatever you use to cook the food with, because it's time to pop that popcorn. We don't need excuses.
That's right. Yeah.
We just want some hot, fresh
my inverter on. It'll run fine on there.
Can't stand Sam. You're killing me, Wonka. Yeah, you 70-year-old dead guy. That's my favorite. Sam's like, he got the info. The investigators have discovered that Willy Wonka is using the accounts of dead 70-year-old men. Willie's over there. He's like, stop it. You're killing me.
Well, Ross Khan made an announcement this morning. I don't know if you heard it, Stella.
I was over at her channel listening.
Yeah, she's gonna go live. She said between 1 and 3. That's 11 and
she was.
And
yeah, she was in there doxing all her information, and they're telling her to quit doing that. And
well, they already got it. And that's what they planned on doing today to her. So she beat them to the punch.
Mm-hmm.
They was already planning on doing that. They had already got it.
About it.
She said, "Now what else you got?"
I was giving my phone number out on the live stream the other day.
She gave them her dead mama. She told her, "What else you got? What else you think you gonna tell on me?" Because I'm telling everything.
She gave him everything.
Everything.
That's what I do,
her
Miss B.
old address.
So they got
But
nothing
I
else they can come at her because I love Ross. She's a sweetheart. She's a
but
sweetheart.
yeah, but I agree with you though, Stella. Hell, I give you my address. Ain't nobody gonna come no way. Shit.
They ain't. They never show up.
Hell
Everybody's got
no.
mine. Jose
They
sitting
ain't
there and
gonna
read
come
it out
no
on the
way.
panel one day. He just kept reading it out
Mhm.
over and over and over. I said, Jose, no one's interested. They've all got my address. But everybody has it. I give it to everybody. And my phone number too. Hell, I give them my bra size. I give them everything. You know what?
And that's what Ross did.
Yep.
And that's what Ross did this morning. She gave it all. She gave up everything.
Yep.
That's what you gotta do.
What
She's
else
what
you
I
want to know?
call a Stella.
Yep. That's what you gotta do with them, huh, Stella? You just put all their shit on Front Street.
But like Stella said, though, you're not gonna come anyway. Hell, I give you my damn phone number and the phone never rings. Shit.
Do you know how many times that stupid ass Adventures with Mr. and Sammy? That's Sam. Do you know how many times he's threatened to come to my house? And you know what I told him? I said, that's okay. This is a Motel 6, baby. I'll leave the light on for your ass.
Don't want you to get lost, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You
I
still
mean,
use that GPS.
but it's like this. If somebody took the time to go through all that trouble and do that, let me beat you to it. Let me go ahead and tell people. I'm not mad at her for what she did because she put herself out there, and
Right.
now this is how you clean yourself
Oh,
up.
I've done it. Me and
Yeah,
Nikki
just
both
go.
have. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not ashamed of what. Look,
Well,
if I tell you,
they're trying to shame Tracy right now
yeah,
into taking. She's got her phone number on her About Me page because she's like us. She don't care. Because if they want it, they're going to get it anyway. So there's no need
yeah,
trying to hide anything. You know what I'm saying?
but you
And
can't hide nothing. It's
but
open record because you signed up
isn't going to
for
leave Tracy
YouTube.
alone. Bakers ain't going to leave her alone until she takes her phone number off her About Me page. And Tracy ain't never going to do that. Hell, I may put mine on my About Me. I don't know. I hadn't decided yet.
My
See,
Google
maybe
number.
somebody call you, huh?
My Google number's
Tell
on my
maybe
page. I don't care. That's why I have it there.
ain't nobody gonna call no way.
Hey, Okie, working to be.
'Cause let me tell you
There's
something. Because if you
JoJo.
come over here where I stay in an old neighborhood, right? Old people, everybody retired who all ain't died, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you come over here, everybody at home. Don't come over here. Don't think you're gonna walk around to the back because somebody gonna be waiting on you in the front when you come from the back because you ain't got but one way in and one way out. You know. So I'm not worried about you can come over here anytime you want. Hell, knock on the door. Now I'm better. See, Stella better than me because you can come in. I'm like the Roach Motel. You can come in.
But you ain't
I ain't
leaving.
gonna promise. I'm not promising you that. You
Well, you know
may,
what?
you may
Well,
not.
I did add a little on to it, Miss B. I
Oh,
told him, I said, before you can get pulled in my driveway, I guarantee you that big ass van of mine will have you shoved clean through that woods and off into that lake. I'm only about 5 minutes from the water. But if you cut through the woods, it's a shortcut. And
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I could just, my vehicle's big and it's heavy. And it would shove that stink van all the way to I told him, I said, I will shove you all the way to the fucking lake. I will shove you into the lake. I will drive you right through that fucking fence. I've got full coverage insurance on my vehicle. It'll pay for every bit of this damages I'm going to cause.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I
You
mean,
got submarine insurance.
if
Stella?
anybody,
No, but I'll take it out if I need it.
and let me tell you, and Stella, you know this too, Nikki, you too. 99% of the people on this panels and all in these chat rooms and all of this stuff, they all got a goddamn pass
Yep.
with the police.
Yep.
If it's a good one or bad one or whatever it is, we all got to pass with the police. And some kind of way we trying to fight it, but we so busy fighting each other to where we missing the big picture.
Yeah, that's what they want. Distract.
Mm-hmm.
Deflect, distract. Yep. I know.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm with you.
Yeah.
JoJo, who sounds like they do voodoo? I hope you're not talking about me because I do witchcraft, not voodoo. Because
oh yeah, oh I don't do neither one.
in trouble. I ain't messing with no voodoo. Now I like voodoo, which is not the same. So yeah, I ain't doing no voodoo stuff.
Except I do Voodoo Ninja now. He could do some push-ups on me anytime.
Well, I had
Yeah,
neighbors that were Haitians, and I think one of them was into some voodoo stuff, and I loved her. She was so sweet to me when I was a kid, but I would never mess around with voodoo. Nope.
shoot, I don't believe in none of it. Shoot,
And that's
if you got bad karma, it's because you brought it on yourself. You got
exactly,
good
yeah.
karma, it's because you brought it on yourself. And nobody putting no spell on
Hmm.
you. You put it
Did
on
y'all take
yourself.
Sammy out?
I didn't touch him.
No, I didn't touch nobody.
Been
I
flopping
wouldn't
his
get my hands
fingers
dirty.
in here.
But probably Willy Wonka, probably if he's got a wrench. I don't know. Does Wonka have a wrench? Because if he does, he done beat Sam to death with it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I was looking to make. Oh,
I know-
okay. He
I
got
know
it.
my Wonka. I know my Wonka. He beat the crap out of Sam with a wrench. He timed him out, see?
Yeah, he did. Well, I just know I went in to look to make sure Working to Be had a wrench, but
Voodoo fake
yeah,
nonsense.
but I was like, Willie did. Yeah, Will. I was gonna say Willie got him. That's
Willie,
okay, Willie.
I did it. All
There's
right.
a very few people I do not give wrenches to, and that's Sam, Jose, Tally, Yukon Lynn, any of that bunch, any of that clique. Everybody else can have a wrench. I don't give a shit if you're a troll or if you're a 500-year troll. I don't care. You'll get a wrench. But those will never have a wrench. Willy Wonka's always going to have somebody to wrench down.
All right, Working. Here's my thing on that. I respect it. I like when people find shit buried in the ground, or they buy an old house, they find shit up in the attic. Like if they find a box and it's sealed with wax, and these, fucking people gotta look, they open it up and there's a Ouija board inside. I'm saying don't be opening shit like that. Leave it alone. Back where you fucking got it. Don't touch it. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying don't tempt stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. It's just better to be safe than sorry.
I think Sam's got a Ouija board in his van.
But that sounds like good advice.
I'm just saying.
Especially if you got some type of phobia about something.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, if you find a box sealed with wax and you have to open it, and you open it and there's a Ouija board, put it back. Just
But what I keep telling Sam and Jose is those two have opened Pandora's box in YouTube.
yes. And people
they're not the
find
only
their
one.
boxes and open them, and there's somebody's poor pet in there. It's like, just leave shit alone. Just leave it.
Right.
Over in the ground. Just leave them around.
Well, Dog Lips don't call me much anymore. I guess he's okay on money because he hasn't been calling me.
Oh, bless his heart. Well, you never know. Wasn't he upset the other day about what happened? You never did tell us. Did he just quit calling you all of a sudden, Stella?
Yeah, he said something was weird. It was something weird with the phones. He didn't know if it was up there or what, but he couldn't hear us. We couldn't hear him. And so he tried to call back that one time, we still couldn't hear him.
And I don't think he's calling Jose. Do you? How would he get Jose's phone number?
Huh?
He got Jose's phone number?
Right. He wanted Jose's and Evan's. Yes. And so, yeah, they wanted me to give him their number, and that's the ones so I gave them to him. Yeah.
I didn't believe Jose when he said,
he did. I only did it because Dog Lips asked, I didn't do it over the live stream. I gave it to Dog Lips on a personal phone call.
Yeah. I just didn't believe that he asked for his phone number. I thought Jose made it up. See, I don't believe anything Jose says.
Yeah, I wouldn't have believed it either, but yes, I did. Like I said, I tell you what I do or what I do. I
believe you. I believe you, but I'm just saying when Jose said that Pat called him, I'm like,
Because I believe, in fact, I'm thinking I gave him Evans and Jose's phone number the same day when I talked to him on the same call.
Yeah. Well, bless his heart. I hope he's going to get out pretty soon, isn't he? I know, Working. Isn't it awesome? like the singing, and I mean, there's just so many things about
Hmm.
Sam in general. But yeah, but I was just laughing when he said, "Well, I can't get an apartment because I can't afford it." It's like, no, dude, you can't get an
Here,
apartment
AC. I just now
because you're,
saw you, honey. There you go, bud.
and nobody's going to rent an apartment to a fucking criminal. Nobody.
Working to be. Did you know Dibble's back in jail? I hadn't seen Working to be around lately.
I
Have you
know.
caught
Working
have you
just
caught the
pops in and
latest
out.
gossip?
Just pops up like toast every once in a while.
Periodically, yeah. Every once in a blue moon, Working will pop out for us. I didn't know if he got the gossip or not.
He's not allowed on
AC,
my
I dropped
channel
it
at
for you,
all.
honey.
Working. He's not allowed on my channel at all. He's not allowed in my chats, on my panel, none of that. He can't comment on my videos, none of that crap. So, yeah, it's delightful without him. I mean, I still hear his bullshit because people still give him a platform. Shiva the Diva.
He's mine, Nikki. Don't go flirting with him. He is a cutie.
Name, calm down, killer. You don't have to put on him. He's yours. I just said Shiva the Diva. That's all I said.
let me fix that. I was fucking with somebody, so I had to change it.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know who the Shiva person is or whatever. I've heard y'all mention it.
It's
Like I
going
said,
on.
I hardly don't know a lot of the people you guys even talk about.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Bye, Miss B.
She's
That
still
was
doing
actually who
dishes.
I came up to say good morning to. I just wanted to say good morning to Miss Beat, and yeah, I didn't get a chance.
Yeah, well, she was doing her dishes.
Wish she'd do mine.
Yeah, and she was doing her dishes and listening to PDF stream, I think. She might have went up on his, I'm not sure.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He violated Working to be. He violated his probation. We don't know what, except
No,
the
we're
only thing
just
we figured out is perhaps he
speculating.
didn't give him his address where he was because it took him 2 weeks to find him after the warrant was issued.
Good morning, AC.
So what are you doing this morning,
Good morning, Stella. I just wanted to stop in here. I'm on my way to work. Beautiful morning. Y'all got some good conversation going on, so thought I'd show a little bit of love. Come in here, like I said, I thought
Well, thank you.
and wanted to
I'll
come and
be
show
in,
some
I'll
love
be
to
in
you. I had to go talk
Dramodome
to
later.
Thank you.
Ross Kahn's supposed to be on there.
Yeah, Ross Kahn is spurging out right now. She's a little upset from last night.
I don't know what happened last night, but I watched some of the stuff during the night, a little bit of it. I listened to it and fell back asleep. Let's put it that way. So I got bits and pieces of what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, we were doing something backstage once our show was done. We were just kind of chilling out backstage, listening to some music and just shooting the shit. And well, I'm not really fully sure how it happened, but Ross flipped out on us. Started yelling, screaming, and hollering at us. I'm sure that somebody that was on the panel has a clip of the entire thing, which I'm fine with. Because when shit like this happens, it's good to have receipts.
Yeah, we always make sure, me and Nikki make sure we got our receipts before we sit down at the table.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
I learned that from Andrew, by the way. Andrew taught me well about the receipt thing. So yeah, we always make sure we have them. And then they lie and they try to say they're made up when you put the receipts out there. Huh, Nikki? Like the what was they saying? Oh, they didn't have a timestamp and something about it didn't have a name on it. But it's a
The
text
provider.
message.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need to see a provide. Next, the bitch will be asking for my phone records. You know,
Yeah, she wanted your phone provider. Yeah. To prove them
like
was
it's Discord, you moron. It's Discord. You know where it is. But yeah.
But I've told everybody a million times that's the reason that none of this stuff is allowed to be used as evidence in a court of law because it all can be edited and altered.
Yep.
And unless they go through the proper process
right.
to get a video, like, see, the police never did take that video. They didn't get that knife after Sam got Dog Lips arrested. They didn't go get that knife as evidence. They didn't see. They had no evidence against him. But like I told him, you don't want to sit in jail for 2 years while they rustle you through the court system just so you can win it. Take that plea bargain and, they give to you and do whatever and get out of it and be done with it. But that's the reason that none of that stuff, unless they go through the proper process and get a warrant and get that video via a warrant and have it brought into the court, by a police officer. It's got to go through the proper chain of command hands. And if it don't, then, it's useless.
Gotcha.
And that's why.
He's
Still,
Stella's
for
honey.
YouTube purposes, for YouTube purposes, it's still receipts. You see what I'm saying? Even though it wouldn't hold up in a court of law, but for YouTube purposes, it's receipts, and they're acceptable in YouTube because we're not real courts and lawyers and judges and all that shit.
Yeah, got wrecked. I think I honestly think Ross is having some kind of midlife, and I don't know. I don't really know how to put it. She's definitely going through something. I actually feel sorry for the lady. I
like Ross. Ross Cons, who we're talking about, Nikki. She's a sweetheart. She helps a lot of people. Yeah, she does. She helps a lot of people in the community. It's like today. She was giving out $100 bills and asked for $100.
Yeah, I won 50.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, I won 50. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the money yet. I mean, as pissed off as Ross is, I'm not sure I'm going to see it at all. But look, I like Ross, and I'll say it publicly so everybody understands. I like Ross. I like most people, and for these YouTube streets, as we like to say. It brings out the worst in some people, and sometimes I think it brings out the real them. And unfortunately, she's really showing a different side of her. And the thing is, like, we've actually seen a different side of her.
Here's my other little Nikki. Hey,
happy.
It's not happy. Yeah, I don't know what to say. She's really going through something. I know that.
Me and Nikki have witnessed a lot of people have these YouTube breakdowns, and it's not nice.
Stella, look at her avatar. How cute she looks. Put that back up a minute. Let me see Happy's avatar again. She's adorbs. I love that.
She is. See, there you go.
Aw, I love that picture. Look how cute. I like Happy. That's a good name for her.
Oh, what'd she fall out with Jen Wow for? Jen Wow's the lady with all the kitty cats, Nikki. She has the cat, whatever it is, where she takes in the cats.
Oh, okay.
Well, Stella, my co-host ASMR.
Yes.
He was the one. Ross Kahn is the one who tried to dox him the hardest. She ended up finding some kind of LinkedIn account and sent that to PDF, and PDF of course put that out for everybody to see. And poor guy, man. I mean, I'm sure he got a ton of messages and people accusing him of being ASMR and it's not even him.
Oh, I gotcha. So it wasn't even him.
No, it wasn't even him. And
that happens a lot too. We see that a lot over here.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to go walk the lunatic and make some breakfast. I just wanted to check in with Stella because I heard she's worried about me.
Well, so, yes, I have been. I told Evan I'm worried. That's what you look at your text, you'll see. I'm like, are you okay?
Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't done that yet. Like I said, I woke up, it was morning. I'm like, what the fuck? The TV was still on, everything. So
that was my only reasoning was you fell asleep. You were tired because you had been really busy lately. You went to that thing. You've been doing all that painting. You have really been You've been
Yep.
really a go-getter this week.
Decorating, doing little projects, but
Yeah.
I know working, doesn't it? See, I can make you breakfast. I can make you an omelet, can make waffles. Daddy Gadget gave me a waffle maker while I was there.
Ooh, that's nice. You get one of them that flips over?
No, but it doesn't need to. It's a Belgian waffle maker. It's fucking perfect. And I've used it for years at my dad's. And then my dad got 2 new ones, little ones. They just make a single waffle, whereas these make the 4, 4
Yeah,
squares.
I've got one that makes 2, and I've got one that makes 4.
Yep, I got the 4,
But
but
my
I'm
daughter's got the one that's up on that thing, and you flip it over.
Yep. And then
I don't know
let's
what that's called. Yeah.
I can make you a breakfast burrito. I can make you a skillet that's got bacon, eggs, cheese, potatoes in it. Whatever you want, man.
Yeah, I've got one of those little deals that I've got a cooking device for just about everything.
Well, Daddy Gadget gives me all his old ones. So yeah, I've got an Instapot, an air fryer, an inside grill, which I use every day almost. Yeah.
Well, the only one I dox happy is myself, and I will do that happily.
All right, you guys, I love you. Have a good day. Stella, I'll talk to you later. If you'll just let me know, I'll give you a call later. I'm just
later on.
Bye,
when we get around to it.
Thanks for getting me in trouble. Goober.
I'm sorry, Stella. Look, I like you said before, like my beefs are always with those people personally. Like if I've got something wrong with if I've got something going on with PDF, that's between me and PDF. It has nothing to do with Stella. Has nothing to do with anyone else.
I know, and I got a right to like who I want to like, and I'm going to. That's my only thing. I love PDF to death. I do, and I just it's when you're friends like that, I just don't see how they can just leave you like that. But it happens on YouTube. I'm used to it. Believe me, I'm used to it. So I don't say anything about it. I'm not going to go around and talk trash about him and dish him and all that because I love PDF.
Well, the guy's been trashing on me for a little while now. So I mean, the moment
I've got tons of trash on me, constantly, which doesn't matter. But I would, I do that same stuff. People probably think I'm crazy. Hell, I'll give you my phone number. That's why I put it right out there the other day for you guys to get.
Like I said earlier, or like I said the other day, he took it upon himself to throw me in the middle of a fight that had nothing to do with me whatsoever. And I mean, the guy should have known by now. I may be cool, and I may chit chat with him and everything else. But if you're gonna go at me, game on, bitch. That's just straight up.
Well, that stupid Sam that's in here is he's taken upon himself to go after PDF, and I'm like, dude, you don't even want to go there. PDF's enemies will come at you.
Yep,
will.
But I have had a bunch of people that were close to him that reached out and was like, I'm glad you said what you had to say because, there's plenty of people that don't get a chance to stand up to his ass the way that you or Asmar fucking did. And, I mean, look, I like the guy.
Well, I was under the because PDF loves to argue with you guys, right?
Yep.
And when y'all wanted to come up on the panel, I didn't see nothing wrong with it because I thought, boy, PDF's going to jump at the chance of this to argue with you guys on a panel, but it went the other direction, and I'm like, uh-oh, I guess I did wrong. But any other time though, he would have been happy to got up there and argued with you guys. Because he likes doing that, and I know he does.
Yep.
And whatever y'all are fighting about, I don't even have any earthly idea. I don't. I have no idea. I don't know who. Honestly, it's hard for me to keep up because I'm in several different communities. Because one week these people, this one and this one will be fighting, and next week they're friends, and I'm going, okay. That's the reason I don't get in the middle of it, right? Because the next week it'll flip around and be something different, And I don't have no, neither one of y'all have done anything to me. So personally, Now, Sam and Jose and that bunch, they've done things to me personally. You know what I'm saying? That's why that's why I've got a downfall with these guys. Sam threatened to kidnap my 8-year-old granddaughter. Okay. And Green Thing tried to use my granddaughter to get to me. Okay. To trash my granddaughter in public, in on YouTube to get to me. Well, that's not going to work either, honey. Not at all. Not at all. Because I don't take nothing laying down. I'm a fighter. I've fought my whole fucking life, but I fight very well, online and offline. I know I'm old, and you're probably laughing your ass off because I'm 67 years old. But honestly, I got into a knockdown drag out and whooped this bitch's ass about a week before I went to fucking jail. So yeah, I can still fight. I can still hold my own in a street fight. And actually, I like fighting, but
I've made the comment before. I'm not a big person. I'm a little guy. I'm a little guy. I got a big mouth on me. I'm okay with that.
Oh,
And
well, you've got the happiest, nicest smile, and I've always said that of anybody I've ever seen on YouTube in my life, or probably actually anybody I've even known in real life. You just smile, and you're always happy, and that's the kind of people I like to be around. Is happy, smiling, fun. You're having fun. I thought you guys were just going at it. A lot of times they'll do it for just to get the stuff stirred up so people will come in. Yeah, just to get a rise and get people in the chats and stuff, because a lot of people do that too. So like I said, I don't know how to take things a lot of times, and honestly, most of the time I just can't be bothered with it anyway. I'll go in there and joke around and laugh and carry on for a little while, and then I'm off on my own little way doing something else.
Well, here we go.
I don't forgive, and I'm like Anonymous. I do not forgive. I do not forget. Expect me, because one day you'll see me. One day I'll be right there.
Yep. No, I'm with you on that one. I do not forget. I may accept your apology, but I do not forget.
No, I don't even take those. I don't take truces online. I don't take apologies online. I can be civil with anybody I choose to be civil with. At one time, me and Nikki, we weren't always friends because some people in the community decided to put a wedge between me and Nikki. We were friends, and then we weren't. Okay, but look at us now. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Well, Stella, I just got to the office. I'm gonna check in here in a little bit. I'll probably just be in the chat though. But like I said, I just wanted to get up here and say good morning, everyone. I just wish I got a chance I hadn't talked to Miss B in a little while, so I know that's one of the things she's been upset about, the whole fight between all of us.
Yeah, like I tried to say the other day, but I couldn't get a word in. You all and us and these other people, you're a lot stronger together. Okay.
Yep.
And if you could work out whatever the little bitty difference is that you got, if it's just something minor, work it out. Because believe me, a team is strong. A team ain't got an I in it. Okay. A team is a team.
Yep. So, all right, Miss Stella.
But I'm not a hater, and I try to be nice to everybody, and until they've done something, like I said, personally against me, and then it's on like Donkey Kong at that point, and I don't cut no slack.
Yep.
But like I said, I love PDF. I don't always he quit being mad at me, but he can be mad at me if he wants. That's just prerogative.
Mm-hmm.
But
all right, Stella. I will check in later.
All right, you have a good day. And that asthma, he has got the sexiest little voice, Happy. Have you noticed that? There's Phoenix. Hey, where's Joe at? I've been missing you, Phoenix. I hadn't seen you around in a while. You was sleeping the other day, I think, when Joe was on the panel. I think you were sleeping. Yeah, me too. Working to be. I'm that way. I don't know why I'm that way. And yeah, I don't. I know who NE is. I've been sub to him a long time, but evidently I must not get around to their. I don't get notifications on a lot of these people's what it is. That any fan, I don't get no notifications on their channel whatsoever. Brian, I saw you in here a while ago, but everybody was talking, sweetie. That's why I highlighted your thing to let you know I see you. I didn't want to interrupt. I got a bad habit of talking over people as it is, Brian. You know that. So I was trying to be good. What'd Joe do? Joe done good earlier? Oh, that's good. Well, that's why sometimes, even though I try to cut in and say something, when they're arguing, that's why sometimes I just sit back and don't even try to strain my voice to get up over them. I figure if they talk, they'll work things out. If they don't talk, they're never going to work nothing out. And that's the reason I thought, well, this might be a good chance to get some things worked out, but I guess I was wrong. My little corgi. He is so cute when he runs. His little wiggly tail. He ain't even got a tail. The dogs are barking. My grandson must be outside. Everybody was in there, Asmer telling her to stop doxing herself. I was in there watching part of it earlier. I didn't type in the chat because there was a lot of chatting going on, and she's trying to have her money giveaway and stuff, and so I just kept quiet. Oh, you missed all of it? I only caught parts of it. Yeah, oh yeah, she even put her social security number out there. She was she was just putting everything out there. That's all I can say. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't write any of it down. I didn't take notes on anything because I don't care about nobody's information. I don't know, Happy. Yeah. Yeah, she was putting all their information out there. So yeah, it was her own panel. Huh. That happens to a lot of people, Happy. It really does. It was all over on Ross Kahn's uh, channel, Phoenix. She's supposed to be on Drama Dome's panel sometime today. I don't know when, but I'm sure if you go and show up for that, you'll get the gist of everything going on. Yeah, that's sad. I hope she's okay. She seems like a pretty smart lady to me, what little bit I've talked to her. No way. She was just, I don't know. She was just, when I went in there, she was just doxing all her information. I mean, everything, including her social security number, her family, their names. And she made sure and spelled out their names, so I guess whoever was taking notes could write it all down or whatever. But yeah, she was just, yeah, that's sad. There's a lot of people that are having issues with drugs or alcohol right now in YouTube, and it's a sad thing. Yes, Phoenix. We're talking about Ross. Yeah, this was earlier in the night, early morning. She was on live stream, Phoenix, on her own live stream. Yeah, exactly, Happy. That's it. See, because I do the same thing. You're not going to dox me. Here's my phone number. Who wants my information? Because everybody's got it anyway. Hey, CJ. Oh, you don't know? It's okay, CJ. She's from the auditing community. Um, or that's where I met her at anyway. Yeah, Ross Kahn though. I never had any issues with Ross. Never. On PDF panel was the first I saw her go off, and she spiraled down since. I don't even know. I hear him. I don't even know what Connie is or who a Connie is. I'm sure I probably know him as some other name, but oh, well, okay. I'll be honest. I dreamed about Asmer all night last night. Oh, He's got a nice voice. Okay, I'll admit it. No, I'm just joking. Rebel. Okay, all right. Thank you, Rebel. Okay, now I know who Rebel is. Yeah. Brian, you know me. Well, I don't have issues. PDF got angry at me, CJ, because I allowed ASMR and AC to come up on my panel. Okay, and he got angry at me over it. And he's still angry. He's still mad at me, I think. Oh, okay. And y'all call him Connie. I got you. Okay, yeah, I knew him under that other name. Oh, okay. Thank you, Phoenix. Yeah. That's probably a good idea. There's Tracy. Hey, Trace. Sam, you just better hope Willy Wonka ain't still in here, letting you say something. And so this guy right here, now, he's going after PDF. This is what he says. He's going after PDF now. This Adventures with Mr. Sammy, he's going to go take PDF on. I don't know. I can't be controlled. I don't know how else to say it. I can't be controlled. That's probably why I don't have a husband or boyfriend or none of that. I don't like being controlled, you know, and I won't be. Well, that's why I'm not mad at him, Brian. I'm not mad at PDF, you know. I'm not. But you know, sometimes people hold a grudge. They get mad and they hold that grudge for a long time. So we'll see. But I'm not mad at PDF. I'm not trash talking PDF. I don't got nothing bad to say about him. He's not done anything to me except for be angry at me for letting those guys on my panel. But I've had people get angry at me for that same issue before with other people. Okay. Exactly, Okie. Exactly. Yeah, because you don't want to be, you just don't want to be controlled and told what you can do and how to do it and how long you can do it. And yeah, but I'm kind of dominant, Brian. So I would probably be the one controlling in that situation. Well, that's the thing. PDF knows I've been friends with AC for fucking ever. And I really didn't know ASMR at all. None. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, I didn't even know him. I did and do, and I know him now, but at the time, I didn't know him at all. I mean, I'd seen the name around, you know, I knew they were fighting and arguing, but I just figured, well, you know, maybe he wants to argue with somebody on the panel today, and so I let him up, and then I got in trouble for letting him up. So it's okay. It's okay, y'all. I got this. I'll be fine. I always am. But I just don't go around dumping on my friends, you know, that easily. If I dump on somebody, you can bet your sweet ass they totally deserve it. Huh? Oh, but Sammy went over here. He had to run over and go live. He thinks people are going to leave my chat and run over to his stream. They're not going to. A matter of fact, I'll get more in here now that he's gone, probably. Exactly. You got to take turns, Brian. You know. Well, I just thought, I thought this whole, amendment thing is fighting for your rights, fighting for your freedom of speech. And that's all I do. I was giving them an opportunity to all get up there and say what they had to say to each other, to express their freedom of speech, So evidently, we're not, freedom of speech and standing up for our rights just isn't a good thing to do. You know, you can lose your friends over it. Yeah, it was just something simple, CJ. Like I said, maybe he'll figure out, I'm not the bad guy here. And because I get a kick out of PDF. He's funnier than hell, but they all are. Uh AC's really he's really hilarious. He really is. Yeah, exactly. Be careful what you do to others, Phoenix. Exactly. Yeah, and I don't try to attract no bad karma on my ass. No way. Are y'all Phoenix? Are you all still in Colorado? I know it's been snowing out east again. I think they got snow yesterday out around Massachusetts and Maine and out in that area. Well, I just recently met this ASMR, but he seems like a nice guy to me. I didn't find anything disrespectful or rude or anything about him, and same with AC. Um, so I don't know why I have to be rude or be mean to somebody else just because somebody wants me to. I'm not that away. Oh, he's in Chicago. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I wish the weather'd hurry up and get better up through there. I plan to go up to Pueblo, hopefully sometime this summer. I can't stand snow. That's the reason I try to stay most of the time in the southern states. Stay far away from snow as I can get. I'm gonna heat me up some water and make me some hot chocolate though. How's that sound? It's a little chilly here this morning. It was like about 30 degrees, I think, when I woke up. My baby chicken is still over here clucking. He's doing really good. Yeah, I got a baby chicken in my camper with me, you guys. Oop, okay. So, but I still think you guys could be stronger together if y'all stuck together. You know what I mean? Instead of fighting. Because I know at one time y'all were probably friends. I don't know who's friends with who or who isn't friends with who. I really don't. It's hard to tell anymore. But I've never put myself in the middle of any of PDF's arguments with people. But I'm just hoping one day he'll forgive me and he'll be my little friend again. That's all we can hope for. That's all I got to say pretty much about that. I'm making hot chocolate, you guys. It's gonna be killer. Love hot chocolate. Yeah, well, I got the same problem, Phoenix. Okay, Trace, hurry back. The thing of it is kratom. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I've never tried it, but a lot of people like kratom. But yeah, Phoenix, I've had probably I don't know how many surgeries. I'm all plastic and metal and titanium and my body's full of screws and all that shit. Yeah, hey Carlos. See, and I don't have any problem with asthma or AC or anybody for that matter. You know. Now, there is that one lady that I really don't care much for, but I don't even smack talk about her. Exactly, Phoenix. Life is way too short to be having these arguments over stupid shit. It's over stupid stuff, you know? It's too cold for snow angels. Yeah, yeah. I'd lay down if I lay down to do a snow angel. Somebody going to have to send a forklift to get me up out of the snow. Woo. I'm stirring up my hot chocolate. Be back in chat in 1 second. This hot chocolate just looks so good, y'all. It does. Oh, I know a lot of people that actually take that kratom that say it works and is good, but yeah, I've heard it's nasty, Tracy. I've never tried it. Um, or can you, Phoenix? Can you buy it and buy the and buy those empty capsules and just fill the capsules yourself? Would that be a cheaper way to buy it? Or uh-oh, your phone's dinging already, Tracy? Yeah, what I'm asking though, Phoenix, is can you not? You could buy. I think you can buy those blank capsules and put it put it in yourself. Hang on a minute, y'all. I'm back, you guys. Had to give my grandson his cup of chocolate and some cookies to go with it. Hot chocolate is good early in the mornings. Oh, okay. So it's better than Phoenix just to buy the capsules. Okay. That's what I was wondering. I had to go back and figure out where I was at in chat. I got distracted again. Oh, I quit. Yeah, I quit taking the pharmaceuticals a few years ago. I'd been on morphine for over 15 years. Then it got to where it just didn't work anymore. And so rather than have to get an increase, and raise it up, I decided I would just drop it. And I went cold turkey off of it, which was not a good idea, but I survived it. So I haven't taken any morphine in years. But they said I would be on it for the rest of my life because of all my medical issues, you know. But I proved them otherwise. I don't like to be a statistic, you know. And when they tell me I'm going to have to be, I'm going to have to, you're going to have to, this is what you're going to have to do. I'm like in my mind, no, the fuck, I'm not. And that's basically, so they were basically trying to control me with that stuff. And I just said no, put the foot down, got rid of it. I got 99 problems, folks, but drugs and alcohol is not one of them, or either of them. Let's put it that way. Hear my chicken? Hear my little baby cheep cheep, you guys? Yeah, see, that's what they told me, Phoenix. They said, well, that's it. I've had all the surgeries that I can have. Um, and there's nothing else they can do for me, except for pop me full of pills. And so I just decided that no, that's not the route I'm going to take in life. Don't get me wrong. You want some Coke? No, honey. Hey, slow burner. Yeah, Phoenix, I'm never going to give up either, sweetie. You just got to keep fighting. Fight the good fight, girl. Yeah, me too. Yeah, hopefully, I don't know if it's going to rain today or not. Hopefully it won't. We've had a little bit of rain this week, but the sun's coming out a little bit. It might be a nice day after all. Hmm. No, like I said, no, like I said, this nice and methodical, slow. And really, into the cabinet. No, like I said, unless one of us are getting hurt by another one of us, the police ain't got nothing to do with all any of this. So can I ask who you found out it was? Bro, seriously, like you're going into the context of 8 different fucking trolls. What? Holy fuck, 8 different people. Shit. Okay, so I mean, how deep do you fucking want to go? How deep are we gonna go? Huh? I'm sorry, Jeffco. It's up to you, bro. You tell me. Well, you're right, Phoenix. It does. It makes opiates make the pain worse. That's what I figured out. Ooh, damn! You got cancer, Phoenix. Yeah, I had a cancer on my nose and I had it removed. That's only cancer I've had so far. I've just had a lot of surgeries. My bones and body's just shot.
Sarah Jane, Stella, Willy Wonka, and Walker. Coke. And Coke. Yeah, Coke. Are there? Okay. Red Road. Nope. Red Road Warrior. Coke. Uh, Sarah Jane. Nope. Rosewood City. Cold. Not Lisa. Red. Cold. Ginger. Not Lisa. Cold. Not Lisa. Cold. Honey, honey. No. Cold. White Tupac. Hot. I knew it. And then I would say a couple others on his crew. Anybody I'm missing in the community? Awkward. And let's see what.
I'm here. I'm just listening to something. You guys go ahead and talk for a minute.
Cold.